Every once in a while, you smiled on the Ricky Lake show.
No, I know exactly
man.
what you're talking about. I'm not happy with the way that looks. I guess I would have to work if I did television regularly. I would have to work on fixing that.
And did you notice you wet your choppers down?
I did notice that a couple of times. I was hoping no one else did.
Only 8. It wasn't that bad, Robin. I know what you're saying. That sometimes you've seen as much as 24 in 6 minutes.
Yeah, because sometimes he gets real dry.
I mean,
and I figured on television he'd be particularly anxious.
Right.
Maybe it was once every 50 seconds. That's not bad.
No, that's not bad at all, Robin. Based on your theory, it really should have been a lot worse. Were your teeth dry, particularly dry because you were on TV?
Well, you'd always get a little nervous.
What happens? Your teeth get very dry because they stick outside of your mouth?
No, it's not the teeth. It's the whole package gets dry.
Oh, everything.
Everything
Yeah.
dries.
So what are you doing? You're wetting down your teeth and your gums?
I guess so.
I mean, I don't know what the move is. I see like you were just doing it now. You're just about to go into it.
Yeah, I know. Well, now I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, I know.
Like a horse wags his tail.
Why didn't you wear that spray machine we got you? The one that shoots water into your mouth as you talk.
Because it covers up my hairdo.
One of the best things we ever did on our old TV show was this guy sent in a spray machine that it was like a football helmet that had a big sprayer attached to it so that I had a button. And every time I saw Gary's mouth getting dry, I could wet down his teeth and gums.
Yeah, and it had it had a drip tray.
Yeah.
So that you could catch the water.
The drip tray was
drip tray.
Was me holding a coffee cup, remember?
Yeah. No. He attached a sack almost that caught some of the spittle.
He invented a new machine for New Year's Eve, too, but we didn't have an opportunity to use it.
Oh, you're kidding.
Remember I showed you the videotape?
No.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, yeah, what was that?
I think it was a teeth cleaner.
Yeah, that was great. Well, we'll use that the next time.
It had a lot of toothbrushes and baking soda and peroxide and a funnel to spit in.
So Gary wouldn't have to, when he did his tooth routine at night,
yes,
it would all be under one helmet.
Gary's lab.
Gary, you want a sugar cube or a carrot or some oats?
No, thanks.
No.
You didn't bring an apple today?
It was funny, though, watching you wet down your teeth. I got to go back and watch it again.
Well, I have the tape with me today.
Do you?
I
Good.
brought it in for Robin.
Oh, good. I please want to see that.
Maybe we can all watch it together. And maybe you ought to... Too bad you can't bring it. Too bad we don't have a TV in here. We could watch it together and wait, and count how many times to make sure that we counted the right amount of times.
What's the point? Right. It's so visual. It doesn't really work on radio.
I guess.
Oh, sure it does.
All right.
Nice
What picture do you want to show me in the Inquirer?
The world's smallest cheerleader.
Let's see.
Oh, no.
Can we get her on the show?
Oh, you got to see this.
The world's smallest cheerleader. Spunky Allison Queel.
How big is she?
Oh, she's a midget. She's actually a dwarf.
Is she pretty?
Oh, yeah.
She's smaller than her name.
Look at that. 17-year-old Dynamo. Also the editor of a high school yearbook. Yeah, and here she is. She's in her cheerleading outfit. Here she is, Jackie. I always like to watch Jackie.
No.
Don't
show it to him.
It's a flip. What's real? Who cut off her legs?
Oh, no.
I know he loves midgets.
It's just so...
He loves them.
It's like God made them for him.
Yeah, just for his amusement.
Oh, jeez.
That's her life, you dick.
Oh, man.
I went to Atlantic City once and lost like $2,500. I was so depressed, and I walked around the slot machine, and there was a woman there not as high as my knee.
Yeah.
And I was so entertained, I said, Nancy, it was worth the trip.
All right, I got to take a break. Let's see. No, Robin won't laugh. Robin's very sympathetic.
That's
I'm not so
right.
sure about that.
Oh, dear.
Phony. Oh, you phony.
Oh, that's terrible.
It is. It's nothing funny.
She'll be ripping her apart during the commercials.
All right, very good. Let me take a break. All right, joke man. Out of the way. Thank you. Give me a headache. I was reading about the joke man. Some article, Jackie always gets interviewed by these wacky newspapers.
What's he been interviewed by now?
This is called The Island Voice. Something I live on Long Island a long time. I've never heard of The Island Voice.
I hadn't either.
You hadn't either, right? But he'll interview
do
with
the interview anyway.
It's new.
And he evidently brought the reporter to his house.
It's new.
Did you read this, Jackie?
No.
Jackie the Joke Man Martling sits at a round wooden kitchen table. I've sat at that table.
No, you haven't.
Oh, yes, I have.
No, you haven't.
Oh, this is a different house? All right.
Oh, one of the other mansions.
Yeah, but you got to hear this guy. You got to hear this guy writing about Jackie. You would think Jackie was like Donald Trump.
Oh, let me hear.
Jackie the Joke Man Martling sits at a round wooden kitchen table in a small house that's used exclusively as an office. Power table, right.
Shut up.
He looks at me across the table. His blonde hair, though beginning to thin ever so slightly, is slightly. I don't think I see 3 hairs on the top of that head.
Kojak Martling.
His hair is tucked in a ponytail that bobs as he tells me the story of his compound,
Is this guy in love?
an eclectic group of buildings on one piece of land. Next door, a second house owned by the Martlings awaits their occupancy. Eventually, the Martlings plan to occupy the waterfront home, convert an old garage that sits between the larger houses into a recording studio, and finish
Whoa.
remodeling the smaller office.
Oh, my goodness,
Yeah.
what a complex.
Yeah, what a compound.
Joke compound.
It sounds like the Kennedys, doesn't it?
Joke
No,
pound.
we're doing well.
Joke pound. But you know what? When you see it though,
It's just a bunch of ready.
dilapidated buildings. I mean, it's right. You know, it sounds like Jackie really has something going on.
Yeah, I'm getting a picture of Palm Springs.
Yeah, right. Don't get jealous. Believe me.
Martling Largo.
Affectionately known as the compound, these buildings will house the many projects Jackie and his wife Nancy are always involved in.
Yes.
They're busy with nonsense.
All their little projects.
Yeah, all their projects.
Yeah.
All their little projects.
You'll see.
Well, what you got
We're
going?
waiting.
Where's the movie?
Yeah. Oh, that's more being worked on, I'm sure.
Start that after Rascals tomorrow night.
The sound stage is in the garage.
She's like Oprah. You remember she had to build her own studios?
Yeah.
He explains that the different structures are crucial to keeping a clear head. If someone, this is a quote now from Jackie.
All right.
Oh, we'll see.
If someone is working for you, they are not part of the house. With this understanding of the importance of separating work and private life, Jackie Martling is a modest man.
Ah,
Although proud of his accomplishments,
Oh, shucks.
what accomplishment.
his accomplishment is collecting a paycheck from me that pays for all these houses. You know,
He
Howard,
wants to leave all the time.
leave? How's he going to pay for all this
Yeah,
if he
he's got
leaves?
a joke pound now.
You know, me and Nancy managed to put away a little money. And we don't need this.
Because I do such a good
There's
job.
so many other things that I could be doing. Like
do anything.
doing my
I
CD.
could be punching up scripts.
Yeah. Where's he going to do that? From the
I don't know.
compound?
I already am.
Are you really?
Yeah, Stuttering John's video.
There you go.
Oh, that's right. He's still working on that? Keeping himself busy out there.
Not easy.
You know, and then when a big rain comes, his whole pound is flooded.
Yeah, Dominic told me he saw the compound when it was flooded.
You should call it Atlantis.
This was unbelievable. All of Jackie's works hanging from a wire in the backyard,
my buddy-
drip drying.
His whole compound was underwater.
Funny. That big pork. And he's standing there going, this isn't funny.
Yeah, oh, you should have heard him in the car that night on the way to the strip club.
Son of a bitch.
You gotta see,
Have some more bacon, Dominic.
That's what it sounded like. Dominic was talking about Jackie's compound. He goes, Jackie called me up. He wanted me to help him with his insurance. And I walk in the back, and you know all those pictures that Jackie has hanging up of himself? They're hanging up in the backyard on a clothesline drying.
I hope your arteries seize up like a car out of water.
Jackie Martling, a modest man.
Thank you very much, Howard.
And then it goes into Jackie's whole history
What is his history?
about his engineering and
Oh.
background, and then he was a musician. Among Jackie's many projects, he is also planning an interactive CD-ROM game
Oh, no.
that is certain to canonize him as the world's premier joke teller. CD-ROM game.
I am, and I am.
Interactive stuff, the joke man.
You gotta make the game so you can play it underwater.
Is that waterproof?
Yeah, it's a waterproof CD-ROM.
It's a water game. Give me another feel.
Dominic, are you going to buy that CD-ROM game?
Oh, yeah, with flippers and a little mask. Where's my snorkel?
Well, Fred will go on for 20 minutes, and you make one Martian joke, and you think you hit him with an axe.
He's killing me today, though.
Oh, that's great.
He's killing me today.
He's on today.
He's
Jackie.
on, man. Don't stop him.
He's getting mad.
You're not getting to me today.
So what's the CD-ROM game you're developing,
It's not a
Jackie?
game. I'm just putting jokes and videos and, written jokes and
Everything
talking
in
the whole
CD-ROM?
9 yards on a
Right.
CD-ROM.
It's fantastic. Sounds great.
From the joke man.
There's no backstage video, but it'll be good.
I know, but so in other words, what you're going to have is you'll tell a joke.
Multimedia.
And in other words, you'll
You can
have
see me telling it, you can read about it, or you can hear it.
Wow.
You can go to different categories to be,
Sounds incredible.
Oh, incredible.
Who's putting up the money for this? Are you
footage of
paying
the
for it
cat.
yourself, or is someone going to put up the money for
No,
that?
we have,
Backers?
yes.
I see. All right, very good.
Well, there's still room for investors if the people want to.
Because Robin said she might want to put a few dollars
Yeah, you
behind
didn't
that.
ask me.
No, I have no interest in
Dominic, you going to invest?
Matter of fact, I think I know his first customer, Jacques Cousteau. He'll be playing up of Calypso.
So sensitive, that big fat.
All right, anyway, enough of Jackie. We'll get off him.
pretty
Go see him
funny.
at Rascals.
Interactive Jackie.
Tomorrow night, interactive Jackie CD-ROM game.
Jackie Interactive Joke Man Martling.
30 people have already come up and shown me Jackie's, underlined that for me. So Jackie's developing a CD-ROM game.
Oh, no.
Jackie, do you reject any project?
What do you mean reject a project?
Do you ever reject?
What is that?
Is there
What's that mean?
is there anything that you would reject?
Try me.
All right, okay. That's the next thing.
It's so funny. The garage is going to be the studio.
He's got more studios and
Oh,
compounds.
but the best part, Howard, is the philosophy.
Yeah.
There's always a philosophy behind everything that Jackie does.
I don't want anybody in my house who work.
People who work do not belong to the house.
And I guess the reporter's kind of like, wow. I mean, the guy has houses, so
Wow.
must know what he's talking about. You don't ask where you eat. But isn't your wife your manager?
No,
So
she
do you
hasn't
keep
been
her-
for 5 years.
Oh,
You
really?
Don't listen to a thing anybody
Who
says.
is your manager now?
Me.
Oh, you're managing yourself?
Yeah.
She doesn't negotiate at all?
No.
Oh. I guess you didn't want to live with people you worked with.
I just didn't want to give her 10%.
People you work with don't belong to the house, Howard.
Right. Our marriage is
you
going to
with
last.
the pictures and you with the projects. How dare you people say a word?
I see.
Dare you people?
How dare you?
I'm writing a book for no apparent reason.
She's running a book for a publishing house. She's not printing it herself. All right, listen, I don't want to hear about it. What's the difference? All right, let's do some news. I'm getting off topic, Rob.
Well, if we're going to go to spots.
All right, you can prepare the news. You'll be ready to come out of the box with some very, very important news.
Well, actually, the first story is a Arsenio Hall related story. Since
good.
we were talking about Arsenio.
Interesting that you can tie in with that.
I'm trying to be like Al Roker, you know.
Yeah.
Keep a theme going.
Don't ever try to be like Al Roker. All right, we'll be back in a minute. Anyway, let's do some news.
All right.
What'd you bring that up for?
Speaking of Arsenio Hall.
Yeah.
Remember last week I told you about Larry Amorose, who was one of the casting directors on the Arsenio Hall show?
Yeah, this is a great story. We have some guy. Oh, you go ahead. I'll tell you
Okay.
afterwards.
Because Larry Amorose, according to Paramount, has been fired.
Oh, come on.
They didn't.
was a writer who held little auditions for guys with nice,
Allegedly.
allegedly.
Pull down your pants and let me see your tushy. We're doing a sketch based on people's asses.
And we need a tape measure to see if you qualify.
This is comedian, I guess, who was writing for Arsenio Hall, and what he did on his own was he held auditions.
For Buttmaster.
Yeah, he said he was writing a sketch Buttmaster, allegedly.
And he put out a casting call for guys with small butts.
Yeah, and then
He's
they came.
the first one in the history of show business that did that.
and guys would have to come in, pull down their pants, and then he would take a tape measure and measure their ass.
He got 3 of them to comply. This is the problem.
Ask for Larry.
Ask for Larry Amoros.
And when he got them to pull down their pants, then he took this tape measure and started measuring them. You know, he started off slow. He worked them into it. And by the end of it, they said he was fondling them. And when one of the guys asked, what do you do when the women come in here for the audition? No, we don't do this to women.
We don't do this to women.
Breeders.
What's a woman?
The world is made of men.
So Paramount said that they held their own internal investigation, and afterwards, Amoros was terminated.
Poor Amoros. He's trying to have some fun.
So, 3 people are suing him.
Oh.
And now he doesn't even have a job.
Yeah, how's he going to pay?
So,
Some guy who claims he got his ass fondled wants to call in.
Oh, I'd like to talk to him.
Yeah, we'll talk to him.
Find out exactly how the audition went.
Yeah.
Because you need to know these things. It's
You bet.
kind of service you do for actors.
Don't be out of work, actors will believe anything we tell them that's here.
How desperate must you be? You go to an audition, right? And you basically got to have a brain in your head. You go, so a guy walks in, he goes, okay, we're having auditions for a buttock sketch.
Yeah, Buttmaster.
Yeah, and now when have you seen naked buttocks on the Arsenio show? Think about this for a second. I mean, if you stopped and thought,
Well, wait a minute, it's late night.
You know the word. Yeah, right. It's 11:30. Oh, it's 12 o'clock now. And where does?
Direction
we're changing our direction. We're going to be showing naked men's buttocks.
Sounds good.
Pick up that cue card.
And you know what it is? It's like to say desperate actor, of course, is ridiculous because all actors are desperate. But I mean, you walk in and you go, oh, good, maybe I'll be on the Arsenio show. I'll have a little shot. I can put it on my resume.
I don't know. Somebody puts out a casting call for little butts.
Yeah. Well, suddenly, yeah, of course. And then all of a sudden, you go in the room. And there's just one guy there, nobody else.
Right.
Just a guy.
With fire in his eye.
And no script.
Yeah, and he's like,
One singular sensation. Every little move he makes.
Yeah, so he's sitting there going, we're doing a sketch, Buttman. And
Buttmaster.
Buttmaster, excuse me.
I'm the Buttmaster.
Yeah, I'm Buttman. And you have the butt, and this is the Buttmaster. Now, in order to get this job, I need you to pull down your pants. So, okay, you go, okay, pull down your pants. Maybe they want to see me in my underpants, you know.
Because they're going to have me in a
bathing
costume
suit, yeah.
or something.
Okay, that'll go along. All right, pull down your pants. All right, now pull down your underwear while I measure your buttocks.
Yeah.
Now, and eat these loos. This will act as a depressant.
Right. I'm casting, wardrobe, I'm everything. The pharmacist.
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't you be a little suspicious? By the time the guy got to fondling your ass, you should have been pretty well on course with knowing what was going down, I would think. Plus, the guy's name is...
At what point do you walk out?
Yeah, plus the guy's name is Larry Amoros.
I need this job.
Oh, God, I need this job.
Oh, God, I need this job.
Gee, excuse me, did you say this was Arsenio? Is that an X-rated show? Well, I'm a method actor, and this is my method for getting boys.
You want the part, don't you?
You want to be in this business?
You want to be in this business? You have to sacrifice.
Shut up and be measured. Consider yourself at home.
Consider yourself part of the family.
Consider yourself part of the Buttmaster sketch.
Buttmaster.
Next week we're doing Wiener Man, and that's going to be a new sketch.
Oh. Well, you see how we measure that one.
We're thinking of using regulars.
Wiener Master.
Yeah.
Ask for Larry.
Do you have an 8x10? Certainly. No, I mean if you're asked. Here, I'll take one.
So are we getting this guy on the phone or not?
No, we're not getting him on the phone now. We're going to do that tomorrow.
Okay.
So we can drag this out.
I see. We're going to do this till tomorrow?
Right.
We'll drag it tomorrow.
Imagine him composing that ad.
Yeah, let's see. No one will take this seriously.
Open call.
Open call for men with very fine buttocks, very narrow buttocks,
Little, petite.
petite buttocks,
Heart-shaped.
Tight.
heart-shaped buttocks, for an Arsenio Hall Buttmaster sketch.
Pretty pucker.
Now, I'll bring this to the newspaper and see what kind of people respond. Hello? They probably call. I guess you call in an ad like that. It's like,
Yeah.
Hello, I'd like to place an ad in your newspaper. Yes, I'm a writer for the Arsenio Hall show. We're putting out a casting call. Oh, you do a lot of that, do you? All right, take down the following. This will be 20 words. How much a word? Yes, I know I work for Arsenio, and we make a lot of money here, but I'm still worried about costs. How much a word? $5 a word? All right, I'll make this short. Got a nice ass? Come in for sketch. Now, can you print that in pink ink? Oh. Because Arsenio. Christ. What's tonight? The Farrakhan stuff? Screw that. Does he have a nice ass? All right, you got that? Okay, read it back to me. Right. Right. Oh, you sound very nice when you read. Do you have a brother?
Oh. How's his bum?
How is your bum? You have a skinny bum? Stop giggling. This is not funny. I mean, the sketch Buttmaster is funny, but this call is not funny. For goodness sake. You do have a skinny bum, huh? Well, maybe you qualify. No? Not interested. Why is that? Of course we do nude shots on Arsenio. What do you mean it sounds ridiculous? Just print it. How dare you? Huh?
that must have been an interesting placement.
Jeez.
Tell me, do you distribute your paper on playgrounds?
Ow.
Oh.
Ouch.
What did you do?
I hate myself.
But I love you. Now, quickly, put this in. Now, tell me something, young man. Yes, you.
Tell me something. Could you measure your own ass and tell me what the measurements are? What? Oh, I see. You need both hands free. Well, go ahead. Put down the phone. Measure your ass. Now. Tell me your exact measurements.
Sans underwear.
If you want to work in this business, you better tell me. Yes, sans underwear. We don't want any nasty underwear measurement.
Went to this weird audition today at Paramount, man. Did you go?
We had to
get called for that thing?
Yeah, we had to take our underpants off.
Yeah,
for the Arsenio Hall show.
I thought it was a little weird.
Cleanliness is close to being cast.
What is it, Fafa Phony?
There's a guy on the phone.
Yeah.
That had.
Oh, is this the guy?
Right. This is the guy.
Oh, wonderful.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi, how you doing?
So you're an actor?
No, not really. No, I was out there for about a month and a half, and I joined up with a casting agency.
Oh, I see. So what?
As
so
what? You weren't an actor.
Well, no. This is the first
An
job they
ass
sent me.
model.
Did you hear that? This was the first thing he ever got sent out?
Oh, you're kidding me.
No, I swear to God. So what happened?
So
was
how old are you?
I'm 26.
All right. So what happened? Like they told. What did they tell you the job was?
Well, they told me the job was for people with flat butts, not small butts.
Are you serious? So in other words, the casting agent heard about this.
Well, the casting agencies are the people that sent me down there. And what happened was they all looked at me and they said, well, you got a flat butt, so you go down.
Oh, it was for flat butts.
Right, not small butts. You had to have a flat butt.
But didn't they think it was peculiar that the Arsenio Hall show would be looking for people with
flat
butts?
Yeah, well, it was real strange, but nobody, I had to do, well, the thing was when I joined up with them, you got a big contract that said you had to follow whatever they said. The orders that they said. So if you made a big
Welcome
thing.
to Hollywood.
If you made a big stink about it, you would get released from the agency.
Make a big stink about it. Larry Ambrose doesn't want to see you.
Exactly. So when I got down there and I first saw the guy, I knew, I'm not gay myself. I swear I'm not. But I looked at the guy and I thought,
making too big a deal out of it.
What's the big deal then?
The guy looked as queer as could be. I'm sorry.
Really?
Yeah, he did. And looking at him, he did. So I figured.
So when you go in for the audition, is he like in the room alone?
Yes, he was all by himself. What happened was when we first got there was about 15 of us.
Right.
And he sat us around at a big round table.
Yeah, and what's he say to you? What's this?
Well, he said that this was a skit. It was for a thing called Buttmaster.
Now, does this take place on the Paramount lot?
Yes, right on the lot. I had to go right into the studio.
All right, so you went in the studio, so he had his own private room set up.
That's right.
I can't
so
imagine.
that's pretty legitimate. You're on the lot.
Yeah, but don't you think you would, like, didn't anyone on the Arsenio show know what he was up to?
Well, no, because he would close the room and there were secretaries walking all over the place. There was people, there was writers, I guess, and secretaries walking all around.
But not in the room?
No, not in the room. And now when he first put us all in there, he told us what the skit was going to be about. They said they shot one earlier.
Yeah, we're having a snuff film audition at 2 p.m. You might want to show up for that.
Exactly. So they said they shot one earlier in the day.
Yeah.
And they said that, I mean, not earlier in the day, I'm sorry.
Hello? Hello?
Well, are you still there?
What, do you got a payphone?
Yeah, you might have to call me back.
All right, hold on. Let Gary call you back. Hold on.
Oh, they talk about actors.
He said a payphone. Never mind, he said a payphone.
Obviously needed the work.
Yeah.
Oh, poor baby.
If I was him, I would have done it.
First thing they sent him out on.
Hold on, we'll get him right back, because this is too good.
We have to do whatever they tell us.
Yeah, we have to sign and do whatever they say.
Yeah, just give up your dignity.
Yeah.
Sign right here.
Isn't this a great business? My first day on the job, and already I'm at a Paramount interview.
Wow. Great.
Things are going really well.
That's some agency I'm working with.
Boy, they're power brokers. I'm on the Buttmaster sketch interview.
Arsenio Hall already.
What's next? I'm in good hands.
Yesterday I auditioned for a gang rape. Wonderful.
Turn off that music. The guy's at a payphone. All right, hold on. Here he is. Okay, we're back. Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
Boy, you're doing real well, huh?
Yeah, well...
What do you have to run out of your apartment and call from a payphone?
No, I had to run into a supermarket here, buy a pack of gum, and get $2 worth of quarters.
So anyway, you're in Los Angeles, and I mean, have you ever... I really haven't gotten any acting parts, and this was your first thing. So you go over to the Paramount lot.
Right.
And there's 15 guys, and this...
Well, initially there was 15. I think about 15 more showed up. There was about 45 guys there when I left.
Right.
Now, I was about the 15th guy to go. Now, he put us in a room to begin with and started talking to us, and he said that... he was going to. They had shot the skit a couple weeks ago, and it didn't go right. Arsenio he said his exact words were, Arsenio hated it, and he wanted to do it again.
He's a perfectionist.
Right. So.
Ooh, this Buttmaster sketch is just wrong.
And the problem, I guess, was the butts were wrong.
Yeah. The ass was not flat enough. Did anyone measure these asses? Now, didn't you get suspicious because, like, you've never seen on Arsenio naked ass?
Well, no, he didn't. But he didn't even say that at the first part. When the first 15 guys were in there. He didn't say anything like that. He just said that he would look you over. My understanding was he would just stare at your butt from behind in your pants or something. He would just decide if you had a flat butt.
Okay, so anyway, so he's sitting there, and how long does he talk to you before he asks you to get up?
Well, he asked everybody to go downstairs and wait in like this corridor, and then he would call people up one at a time.
Oh, good move.
Right.
Yeah, because you want to enjoy each buttocks alone.
Back into that same big room, right?
Yeah.
Right, exactly. So about 10 guys went before me, and when they came down the steps after. The look on their faces, I mean, some guys were in complete shock.
Must have been the same look that when Jackie sampled at the Super Bowl party with the ribs.
They had the most dumbfounded look on their faces, and everybody started joking when they came down. I go, hey, how was it, and everybody was laughing and making a big joke out of it.
Yeah, no big deal.
Right, so I got up there, okay, and he starts going into, what it's all about, what the skit's about. And I'm listening to him.
And what does he say the skit's about? What is the skit?
Well, the skit was about...
Too bad we don't have a TV show because we could do this skit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a thing for... what he said was Buttmaster, and they would have, like, progression of people's butts or something. Like, I would be the flattest one, and then he would have guys that were in the middle, and then he said we're going to have gladiators on there that had the perfect butt.
Gladiators.
So this is what he said, so...
That word. I'm out of here.
I knew something was really wrong when he said, well, the guy who was supposed to do this isn't here today, so now I have to look at naked asses.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
He said it real quick. He said the naked asses part real fast. And
right.
I said, what's he talking about?
Naked ass.
Yeah. I didn't think much about it because he just kept writing down things. So he said, okay, stand up and then go to the other side of the room. So I was honestly about 10, maybe 15 feet away from him.
Yeah.
And he says, okay, now take your pants down and see your butt. I said, excuse me? He goes, take your pants down. It's no big deal. Just take them down. I said,
baby.
Yeah, don't be a baby.
Right.
So you're in your underwear now.
Yeah, well, yeah. I turned around and I go, okay, well, he's 15 feet away from me. It's no big deal.
Right.
I'll take my pants down. So I pull him down, and I can see there's a mirror in front of me, and I can see him behind me, and he's acting like he's looking at a road map. You know, he's just kind of staring at it, looking for directions or whatever. And then he says, "Okay, come over here. I got to take your measurements."
So now, let me understand something. So your underpants are on for this?
No.
No, everything's down.
Yeah, he said he's got to see how flat it is.
Didn't you say to him? But
Wait. If you're naked,
right?
If your pants are down and you're in front of a mirror, that means does he?
Well, exactly.
Yeah, right. So he can see. Yeah, he can see all of you.
Yeah.
Right, and then I thought it was
those mirrors didn't get there by accident.
Yeah, right.
He knew just where to tell you to stand.
I'd like to write the book, like the Larry Amaro story, if any of this is true, and I'd like to see, like him going through placing the mirror and and figuring out how to do this when no one else would be around.
Right, and not only that, but did you notice when I said earlier today there is that line, and once you get him across one line, the rest is easy.
Yeah, now he's over the line. He's naked, and now he has to be measured.
Right.
Now, did you question him at all and say, "Hey, wait a second, I've never seen a naked ass on Arsenio"?
No, I didn't. I just figured, I really did. I mean, this don't sound stupid. I figured he couldn't see, if you have pants on, if you're baggy, he couldn't see. I mean, I figured, I don't know if they wanted to wear sweatpants on the show. I don't know what they were getting at. I didn't really think they were going to have naked asses on the show. I just figured.
All right, so what happened? So now you get the pants off. Does he walk over to you? You have to walk over.
No. Here's what happened. I pulled my pants back up.
Yeah.
And I walked over to him. He says, "Okay, come here. I got to take your measurements." So I put my pants back up. I walked over to him about the 10 feet, and I'm right next to him.
Yeah.
He says, "All right, take your pants back. I got to take your measurements." I said, I knew it was wrong. I knew what he was getting at. At that point, I thought, this guy just wants to see people. Now, if I make a big stink, the casting agency is going to get into my case and say, you don't do what.
Do you have a nice
You're not
ass?
playing the game.
Do I have a nice ass?
Yeah.
I know. He told me I had one of the flattest asses he saw.
Oh, gee.
So that was quite a compliment.
Yeah, it was a compliment. And meanwhile, the guy didn't really have work for you.
No.
What a drag.
Right, exactly.
You finally did good.
Yeah, I mean, you go through all this and you get nothing.
Well, I don't know about that now. This guy's facing a lot of problems here.
Did he videotape?
I'm sorry?
Did he videotape it all?
No, he didn't do anything like that, no. But, he really seemed legitimate because they had another segment producer that had called me up originally. So he didn't do the initial contact.
Sure, he just used a different name, maybe.
Right. Well, the other guy, I can't say his name, I guess.
Hello, this is Bob Smith.
Yeah, right. So he called, and this guy was questioning me on the phone. He says, "Then, do you really have a flat butt? Because if you don't even bother coming down here." I said,
right.
Yeah, I mean, the guy could have made a call for, nicer butts. I mean, people, that were going down. One guy drove an hour and a half from Santa Barbara. I felt bad for that guy.
So all right, so now he's got your pants down.
Well,
and he
no. At this point, I had put him back up.
Right, and he says,
I
"Okay."
walked over to him.
Yeah, so what happened? Did you pull your pants back down?
Yeah, he said, "Pull him back down." So I pulled him back down.
Yeah.
And he takes this cloth tape measure and goes around the front. And then he goes around.
Well, what is it? He goes around.
He takes the tape measure and puts it around the front?
He reached around my back, and the way his head was down, there was no way he could have been looking. He would have been looking at the floor. And obviously he was looking.
Right.
And I thought, this is really...
was he sweating and stuff?
No, but he was starting to get really red, and his face was getting real red, and he was getting nervous. And he was starting to shake, and he did it twice. He took the measurement once, wrote something down, came back and took it again.
Right.
But did he squeeze the tape measure real tight?
Trust me, he didn't do that to me.
He
did not do that.
Yeah, you're too smart for that.
No, but I hear other people that, and I doubt that happened. I really do. I think they're just trying to build some kind of bigger case against them.
Yeah, it's no big deal if a guy just measures you.
Well, well, the whole thing is that it was under false pretense.
I guess. So. Well, hey, congratulations. You're in show business.
Welcome to Hollywood.
Yeah, well, here's the funny part. He started talking, I'm from Philadelphia.
You figure if you're a guy, you're safe from sexual harassment. Mostly women have to go through that crap. Yeah. You're a guy and they're getting measured.
Well, here's the funny part. This is what I guess looks bad on my part, was that he said he's from the Philadelphia area, and I live and work around Philly. So he says to me, he said, I told him where I was from. He says, "Oh, I'm from Bucks County." I go, "Oh, isn't that nice?" I had my pants up at this point. And I asked him, I said, as embarrassing as this is, I was a communications major, so I said, "Hey, you guys hiring at all for any jobs here?" He goes, "Oh, yeah, he goes, "I can do that for you, but I can't talk about it here. I'll give you my home phone number."
He's
So
wily.
he gave me his home phone number, but I never called him.
So wily.
Hey, give it to us, we'll call him.
Yeah, well, I have it if you want it.
Actually, we have it.
This guy said when he first walked in the room, he said the room was littered with Polaroids.
Yeah, there was hundreds of Polaroids all over the place with people's names on it, and he tried to make it real legitimate. No, and then at the end, what he did was that with my clothes all on, he took a picture from a few feet away and made me turn sideways or something.
Yeah.
Take a picture. So
Wow.
So and they finally just called me and took a statement from me about 2 weeks ago. And they said we're doing an internal investigation.
And you probably said, oh, sure, with my pants off.
Not again. Not another internal.
Right. So who called you, like the Arsenio show? Or?
Yeah, one of the people that does the internal affair. I don't know what they call it.
Internal affairs. It's like the police. They have their own internal affairs.
We have to see the ass scene.
Yeah.
So I don't know who admitted it.
We'll need to have you reenact what you did for us.
Right. I don't know who admitted it first. I mean, I didn't. I sure.
You walked out of there. You weren't going to say anything.
No, nobody did though. You saw everybody come down off the out of the room, and they were all in shock. I mean, people's faces were just dumbfounded.
Hey man, don't they understand what show business means?
Yeah. When I left there, I was like, man, am I gay or something? I mean, what just happened?
Am I gay? You just in a gay movie?
No, I just didn't know what happened. I never had a guy touch my butt before. You know, I mean.
Did it feel good?
No, I don't know. I mean,
come on, admit you liked it a little bit.
No,
you didn't bother to sue. You didn't bother to complain to anyone. Maybe you like it.
But did you? I can't believe that the casting agency, that little line on that contract was so powerful to you that you let a guy do that.
Well, no, needless to say, I'm back in Philly now. I got my old job back.
Oh, good. You're out of Los Angeles. You're so much for acting.
Yeah, I think you're a little too gullible for show.
After that, did you ever go like on another audition, or did you just say forget it?
I just said that's it. Well, I have a lawsuit going against him now.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
So.
Oh, cool.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you should get a few bucks.
Yeah, why not, right?
Or Paramount. You know, you got to feel bad for these big companies. You hire people, you try to do the right thing. You don't care what their sexuality is. If they're a funny guy.
You're being an open, equal opportunity employer.
Yeah, I mean, and they certainly don't want to be Big Brother and hide cameras in every room and watch their employees. They want to have a creative environment. And then boom, this guy goes around filing some answers, and now they're responsible for what he did. I mean, I don't think Paramount is responsible for this.
Well, yes, they are, because he used their facility.
Yeah, great.
He used their show and their name to do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
like any one of us could run a company any better. You know what I mean? It's just amazing.
You're the one who says you can spot him. You're the one who says you can walk through the streets and you know who's going to be trouble.
Oh yeah, put me in charge. You'll see.
Well, this guy looks like a clown. He's got a clown look to him. He's got the rosy cheeks, and his cheeks were getting so red. I didn't know if he got punched in the face already. His face was starting to redden up really bad. He was really red and embarrassed. I mean, he shouldn't have been that embarrassed. I mean, he had touched at that point by 15 people's asses. So
yeah, and like when he was measuring, he's like fondling and everything.
Well, no, he didn't do that to me.
He just measured.
Just measured, right.
Yeah, but there were some people who claimed that he had his hands everywhere.
Well, then they must have liked that because
he didn't get to third base with you or anything. Did he?
Now they're going to punish him and send him to jail.
Yeah, right.
I mean, like I said, it was the first time a guy ever touched my butt like that. I mean, I had a doctor do it once, but
well, how did he touch your butt?
Well, I had to reach around.
It sounds like you're having like some weird feelings about all this.
Let me tell you, when I left there, I was really shaken up. I mean,
are you going to need some therapy?
Well, I think I might have to.
Yeah, I think that's the idea.
Some memories.
Yeah, you need therapy.
Yeah, I think so too.
Didn't your lawyer say you need therapy?
Well, that's what the lawyer said. I'm not going to fall for that skid again.
All right. Hey, good for you. All right. Glad you're safe and sound.
Okay.
All right. There he is, a victim, and certainly his lawyer will be on top of that.
All right. So long.
That's funny. Yes, we're doing a butt blaster. A butt blaster sketch.
Warning.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, and Arsenio, we taped one of these last week, but Arsenio didn't like it.
Yeah, Arsenio felt the sketch went wrong, so therefore we need new buttocks.
We didn't have the right butts.
Yeah, we can't call those butts. I still don't get... I wish they would have explained the sketch a little more.
The sketch was takeoff on the Thigh Master, and I understand it that they were going to take the flat butt guys...
Oh, and then before and after.
They would be the befores, and then the gladiators
would be after.
Would be the after, the final result.
Yeah, that doesn't sound bad. I'll be in that.
Gladiators, line up.
Let's see if Larry can measure me.
No. Get tricked again.
This is my 5th audition for butt stuff. I don't land one of them.
I'm a butt actor.
Yeah.
I could have played that role.
I've heard of character actors. This is ridiculous.
I got tricked again. I thought I'd never fall for it again. All right, what else is in the news? Let's continue.
Well, we were also talking about...
I'm getting my ass out of show business.
I don't think my ass belongs in show business.
My ass don't belong in show business. I'm going back to Philadelphia.
Turning into a West Hollywood parking lot.
Yeah. Jackie knows Larry.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he thinks he does.
Yeah.
Is it the same guy?
I think so.
He's a comic, right?
There was a comic named Larry Ambrose. Yes.
Once there was a comic.
How do you know him? Did you hang out with him at all?
Sure, for years.
Did you really? Jackie, why do you have to now all of a sudden get very
He's a
solemn?
great guy.
Who's solemn?
I mean, talk. What do you know about the guy?
I don't know. I didn't hang out with him. I knew him from the comedy circuit. I don't know.
He's very funny.
Anything about his
Was he
person.
funny?
Oh, he's a very funny guy.
I'm not laughing because it could happen to any of us. Very good measurer.
I'm writing a sketch called Budmaster.
Yeah.
I could write it.
So, like, did he ever come on to you or anything?
No.
You have a pretty nice ass.
Yeah.
I have a flat butt.
I have
Why
a
didn't he
great
look at
ass.
me?
Yeah, you never.
I'm insulted.
You didn't want to measure it?
I have a gymnastic ass.
Jackie, can I ride
I
to
may have
Mr.
kissed
Rips
him.
with you?
I may have kissed
Sorry, Larry?
Can I ride to Mr. Rips with you tonight?
Sure.
All right, what else is in the
You know,
news?
Jackie never gets the breaks.
And Jackie never is at the sort of the eye of the storm. He never gets in on any of these neat little scandals.
Kind of like
right.
the guy in the corner as the traffic goes flying by.
Right. Jackie listens to the story. You know what he says?
What?
I can't believe Larry Ambrose got a writing job with Arsenio. God.
I could measure asses too.
And I
would have survived it. Yeah.
Yeah, I would have talked my way out of it.
I would have deflected, put a spin on it. Onward and upward.
Shut up, West.
Some writer, he couldn't even come up with a good excuse.
Why didn't he write himself an excuse? Larry was out sick that day.
This isn't me.
I deny. Arsenio, I wrote you some great material for today. Let's ignore what's going on.
Damage control.
Uh-oh. What else is in the news, Robin?
Well, I told you last week about this guy who was accused of killing several women and... Oh, stop that, Jackie.
Hey, Jackie, get a life. I just got a fax about Jackie laughing during the news like that.
You know, and he had a 23-year career of eluding police and killing. So murder is possible. You know how you always hear that it's impossible to get away with murder?
Right.
This guy did it a lot.
Right.
And so good was he at it that that Most Wanted program gave him a whole segment, a whole show. You
Good
know,
for
usually
him.
they do several different criminals in one show. He got a whole show. They called it
The
Lady
whole show.
Killer.
How come he gets a show and I don't?
Hey, I've been in the business for how long?
Some business. When am I going to get a show?
It's not fair. Sucks. Freaking murderer can have a show, Nancy. I'm a flying gag writer. What do I
All right,
get?
come on. We're never going to get through this. Go ahead.
Right, will you
Yeah.
stop it?
Yeah, go ahead.
So they devoted a whole show to him.
30 minutes.
And he says he just couldn't live with the guilt anymore, I guess. He was having nightmares.
I could. In a heartbeat.
So he finally turned himself in, and now he wants to be sent to a mental hospital. But I don't think a guy that good at eluding police and all of that stuff is crazy.
You're right. I'm with you. He should be murdered.
The mother of one of his victims thinks he should get the death penalty. This guy apparently was a real charmer and used to ingratiate himself to successful businesswomen, live off of them for a while, then become disgusted with the whole thing and kill them. One woman he dated, you know, she fit the profile. She was successful. And then he'd get them to spend money on him. He'd start using their credit cards to buy things.
Robin, didn't you date him?
No. And then one day, he just gets fed up with them for some reason or other, and he beat this woman with a pair of the expensive boots she had bought him. Beat her to death with them. That's what they think, anyway.
Jackie, you're weird. I got a letter from someone just this morning, a fax. I should have said that you should get rid of Jackie. The way he laughs at these horrible stories, and I don't appreciate it, and he's a loser. Oh, wait, here it is. You ready?
Okay.
Save your show, Howard. Get Jackie the jerk off to quit his dreadful laughing. This morning, Howard had to again ask Jackie what he finds funny in stories of pain and suffering. Howard, how many more years are you going to put up with that stupid sidekick, Jackie the jokeless? You should be paid by the state of New York for hiring this idiot. Great show, signed Larry Ambrose. No, but really, it's a guy named Tom sent it.
Fred loves
She's on.
Jackie actually isn't laughing. It's Fred playing the sound effect. With
Please
He
tell
deserves
people.
the death penalty signed Mario
Actually, it is
Cuomo.
Jackie.
Yeah.
Most of the time it is.
Most of the time, it isn't Fred. Jackie really laughing.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Robin.
You try to tell.
Try to tell the difference.
But anyway, this guy is in the state of New York, of course, which does not have a death penalty, and he's been arrested here because
There is no evidence that
some
the death
of his
penalty
victims
will
are
work.
here. So I don't think he will be getting the death penalty. Probably get what he wants. He'll just get to go to a hospital, have a nice little time talking about all the things he's done over the years.
Cuomo is weird with that death penalty. It's like, yes, there's no evidence.
There is no evidence at this time that the death penalty will work.
I don't care whether it works or not. It works on one person.
Yeah, who needs evidence?
Who are you punishing?
Put him in a cell with Larry Ambrose.
Oh,
Let's measure.
Maybe he'll get so disgusted he'll beat himself to death.
Right.
Hate to tell you this, though, Howard. The Loch Ness Monster pictures that came out in 1934
Yes.
that sort of proved that there was something there.
Don't tell me they were a fake.
They were fake.
Oh, and I believed it. You're kidding.
No, one of the guys who helped to create the hoax was on his deathbed, and he finally confessed.
Guess what?
Couldn't go to his death.
It was either that or write a butt blaster sketch and full guys into tape measuring.
Couldn't go to his death with that lie on his conscience.
That's funny. Did somebody really buy into that?
I guess they had scientists studying the picture and saying, it could have been some kind of dinosaur or something.
I have a picture of Casper the Ghost if you want it.
Had people believing in that for years.
Hey, Robin, there's no Easter Bunny for those of you out there who... Sorry.
Montel Williams usually says some really stupid things, but in the paper today...
Like, where the white women at?
They did another one of those question and answers about TV with a star.
Yeah.
So they got to Montel Williams, and they asked him, where do you do most of your TV viewing?
On my wife's lap.
Most of my TV viewing is done, quite honestly, in bed. I'm a weird kind of TV watcher.
Yeah, boy, no one's ever done that. He's wacky. With me and my Bambi Jr.
Whee! Let's get in bed and watch TV.
Let's get busy, Bambi Jr.
He says,
I'm out of control. I watch TV in bed.
I'm weird because I'm the kind of TV watcher who doesn't turn on the television other than to watch CNN.
Sure.
I don't turn it on again until news magazine type shows come on.
Yeah, sure.
At 9 or 10 o'clock at night.
What a fake. Yeah, sure you don't.
What types of tapes do you rent?
Three Stooges.
I do it very rarely, and then it's always movies. Mostly it's classics or something that's action and adventure.
He's wild.
What do you eat when you watch TV?
Watermelon.
They also come in grape and lime.
Poppycock.
What are your favorite shows to watch?
Bambi Jr.
I watch boxing because I'm a boxing fan, and I love news magazines from Day One to 60 Minutes to Hard Copy
He's so
to
highbrow.
A Current Affair, 2020 and 48 Hours.
Yeah, he's brilliant.
And Sam Champion.
What was your all-time favorite show?
Poppycock.
Hill Street Blues, going way back. One of the best shows ever was Rod Serling's Night Gallery.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Twilight Zone was great.
There's
but
nothing that interests him now.
Night Gallery took it to another level. And then the guy got really cocky. Do you know how to program your VCR?
Poppycocky. And what'd he say?
Night Gallery.
Most definitely.
Yeah, I keep taping the Night Gallery. It don't come on.
I like it when the ghosts come into the room.
Ooh, while I'm eating watermelon pops.
I can do it with a VCR Plus or just regular program.
Ooh, I'm intelligent.
I like when the ghosts came in and scared the man.
Why, I can turn on my VCR, holding 1 foot up in the air and keeping my left hand tied behind my back.
I have an unfair advantage, he says, since I used to be in the military and programmed complicated things.
Yes'm. Otherwise, I spend my free time studying the peanut and coming up with uses for it.
I can't come up
Oh, but he did finally say something intelligent when they said, what's your opinion of violence on TV?
It's wrong because it interferes with the peanut.
Honestly, we're looking in the wrong direction, he says. What we should be looking at is violence in the home.
Yeah, with the Bambi Jr.
The news media does nothing but report events that have already happened. They do not promote events.
You know, I can turn on my VCR with a peanut.
The bottom line is this country is always looking for an excuse. The television that's in the living room, I don't know one child in America that bought it. The parents bought it, and they should control it.
All right, Arsenio. What is his name again?
Montel.
Whatever. Arsenio Montel.
Two men, one brain.
Two men, one brain.
Regarding Tess.
Bambi Jr. just dropped a peanut inside the VCR.
Or is it Guarding Tess? That new Shirley MacLaine movie was #1 at the box office this weekend.
I want to see that.
It was followed by Lightning Jack.
I'd like to see all these movies, but I am such a superstar I cannot step into the theater.
That new movie by Paul Hogan.
Oh, is he back from the...
Yeah, he's making a comeback at #2. You know, that was one of those things he financed by taking it on the Australian stock market. So
right.
Very important that he make money with that.
You bet. Crocodile Dundee. I don't know. One day I was being feted around Hollywood, and everyone was trying to sign me, and now no one wants to talk to me. I'm financing me own movies.
And then, of course, Pet Detective. Ace Ventura Pet Detective still holding strong at #3.
How old is that guy, Crocodile Dundee?
Oh, he's old.
Yeah, I mean, he's a little uncomfortable to look at on the screen, don't you think, as an action hero?
And a romantic leading man?
He's 80.
He's 80. Papa John Phillips has smoother skin. Crocodile Dumb Dope.
Maury Povich today from Waco, Texas. Former and current Davidians discuss how they became involved with the cult.
We believe in David.
On Sally, teens who were allegedly strip searched at school as part of their
I'm watching that. What time is that? What time is that?
At 3 o'clock.
Teens who were allegedly stripped at Paramount?
No.
Oh, I see.
At school, Howard.
On Geraldo, a bad mustache.
On Geraldo, parents who abandoned their children and now want them back.
I love you. I want you back.
Changed my mind.
On Donahue, husbands who don't approve of their wives having male friends. How do you feel about that?
I don't approve. I don't approve of that.
You don't approve of your wife having male friends?
Absolutely. I can do the whole show tomorrow in that voice. Much more entertaining.
Howard, you know we're always having this debate as to whether homosexuality is biological or psychological.
Right.
Well, I have another little piece of information here. This comes from Science News.
Oh, Science News. I'm a reader of that. I enjoy that.
In male sheep.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lack of docking sites in the brain for specific chemical messengers leads to homosexual tendencies.
No.
You told me there was no homosexuality in the animal kingdom.
Bend over.
No, there is no. I've never seen it.
This finding strengthens the idea that biological factors underlie behavior.
They don't have any way to know if it's a guy or not.
What are they, dumb?
Well, they don't know. It's not wearing a dress. It's not like they can identify a female.
You think female and male dogs don't know each other?
That's why they sniff each other. They have to figure out what they are.
Well, that's how they do it. But then when you sniff and you see it's a guy, you don't have to.
No, but if they rub up against each other's legs in a playful way. But the point is, they are not gay. Listen. Let me tell you something. Gayness is strictly psychological. It absolutely is. I know it for a fact. And they're going to try and find all kinds of brain things and all that. It'll never happen.
Listen to this. For breeding purposes, ranchers evaluate the sex drive of rams.
Right.
By watching whether they try to mate with males or females.
Right.
And whether they actually are able to complete the act.
I'm telling you, I know this for a fact. It is a psychological situation.
I don't know why you insist on saying these things.
It's true.
In the face of all this scientific proof.
Yeah, that stupid facts you have. From God knows where. No proof. Go ahead, Robin. If that was the case, they'd cure homosexuality tomorrow.
This is not a disease.
It's something that can be cured, but but through psychological counseling it can be cured.
Oh, boy.
Go ahead, Robin.
You know, there's nothing that says a man who prefers men can't get aroused for a woman and live a life of a sham.
I'm not suggesting that. I think a guy, if he's attracted to men, should live with men.
Sheep.
But I'm just telling you that if there is a guy out there that's unhappy that he's a homosexual, he can be cured.
Well, how are you going to be happy in this society?
Exactly.
I don't know.
Homos are made, not born.
Oh.
It's true.
All right, if you want to feel that way. Well, speaking of love, the president does have some supporters. Here's a rallying cheer that was issued up in his honor as he was in Boston yesterday.
Give me a B! Give me an I! And an L! Another L! A big C! And an L! And an I!
Where's the crowd?
B. How about an O?
Have you got an N?
Yeah.
What does it spell?
I don't know.
What does it spell?
I don't know.
That's spelled Clinton.
Clinton is what he spelled.
He spelled Cliton. Clinton.
Some help.
A rallying cheer for Clinton. Cliton.
So what are you going to do
from the planet Lesbos?
When this is the kind of support you get?
I'm Cliton from the planet Lesbos. I've come to conquer you with my love.
Who was that guy?
Yeah. Well, it's good for the president to know how I feel because it's exactly what's going on with me that's going on with him, and I hope he sees it.
Hillary Rodham Clinton getting the same kind of pressure when she goes out on the stump to
Hillary Rodham
discuss the health
Give me an H.
care plan. So here
Give
she
me a
is.
Q.
H, Q.
Give me a X.
X. What's that spell? What's that spell?
Trouble.
Right.
When she's being questioned.
And wait till you see each year, every 4 years when there's an election, you'll see worse and worse candidates. No one will want this job. Soon you will have Fred Norris running for president. You'll see. And his opponent, Jackie Jokeman.
Talk about bottom of the barrel.
Talk about the worst of the worst. A lot of Gonzalez's in this country.
A great American name.
It is. That's the all-American name now, Gonzalez. Unbelievable.
But, you know, we keep having these disgruntled employee shootings.
Yeah, how long before Scott the engineer goes off?
Let that be a warning to us.
That's right. You're absolutely right.
I told you about that high school principal who had addressed his graduating seniors down in Alabama.
Yeah, Elmo Gonzalez.
His name was Humphreys. Holland Humphreys, or Holland Humphreys. And Mr. Humphreys asked the students, is anyone going to take someone outside their race to the prom?
Logical question. Just got to make sure. So you make sure that the theme for the prom is correct.
So a few people raised their hands.
Yeah.
He looked around and said, how would that look at the prom?
Right.
A bunch of mixed couples.
How many people here are taking a jigaboo to the dance?
well, Mr. Principal.
Yeah, Humphreys.
Yeah, Mr. Humphreys.
It ain't going to look good, you know, that much.
Then he said there wasn't going to be a prom if there were going to be mixed race couples there. One little girl raised her hand and said, look, one of my parents is white and one of my parents is black, and I don't see anything wrong with it. And he said, young lady, you are a mistake.
Oh.
And no more of these mistakes are going to happen if I have anything to do with it.
Wow. Boy, this guy, doesn't this guy, like, you know what it is? He's been a principal for a while. Like, how come all of a sudden?
He went nuts.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, he's been covering this up for years, these feelings of hatred. Why is it all of a sudden the guy suddenly explodes?
I don't know. He just couldn't hold it in anymore.
Right.
He had to come out of the closet.
Because, most guys who make it to the rank of principal in a school, and that's a political position, to make it to the rank of principal, you got to sort of know how to play the game.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me that, like, somewhere he cracked and just went, how many of you are going to be in a mixed relationship at the prom? You know, most guys would say, hey, listen, I can't stand to see these black guys with white women.
So I won't go to the prom.
Yeah, so you know what? I'll just have to put up with it. You're going to make me puke, but I got to put up with it. I've put up with it for years. Maybe he found out he has cancer. That's always my speculation. The doctor said,
long to live.
You probably got a year to live. You might as well be honest with everyone.
Speak your mind.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Leave the spick boyfriends at the gas station.
Right. No Negroes at the prom.
No jigaboos. You people,
I don't mind jigaboos as long as they're with other jigaboos.
What the hell is next? Whites and Chinks Cha-Chan? We can't have it.
It's very hard to find a band that can cater to the Jungle Bunnies and the rest of you.
Oh,
yeah. All the Jungle Bunnies like the rap music and the white man like rock and roll.
Well, he got into a lot of trouble now. He was suspended on Monday.
I don't care. I got cancer.
Students told on him and said he tried to ban an interracial dating prom.
Student.
Yeah, who told on me? A spade? A spade.
I'll get even with you.
Well, KKK member Nathan Thomaston told reporters yesterday after the school board meeting where the suspension was announced that he was still unhappy about the board's decision.
Really?
Yes.
What's the guy's name?
Nathan Thomaston.
You saying you have tape of him saying that?
I'm supposed to.
No, dream on.
Well, maybe I don't have him.
You got
but
Joe.
I do have Joe Williamson.
Yeah, who's that?
He is one of the parents of the students at the school.
Boy, I'd rather hear the KKK guy.
Well, maybe you want to hear Mr. Williamson.
All right.
I don't want my kids to come to school and watch some a black person, a white person standing in the hall loving and kissing on each other. You think I'm sending them to school to get that kind of education? No, I'm not.
What about if it's like two white people kissing and...
He does want that kind of education.
I need that.
No problem.
This here ain't the friggin' UN. It's a high school. Leave them knuckle draggers home.
That
Gay to real American.
But nagger love is not conducive to education.
We don't want no you bangy square dancing on our premises.
Naggers.
On the other side of the argument here is Tyrone Patillo.
All right.
Oh, let me get with it.
Now, I want the white women. And no one gonna keep me from it.
How does he feel about the suspension?
Now.
Prejudice that you need to go.
Wait a second. What was that? Wait, I gotta hear that again. That went by entirely too fast.
Well, like I said before.
Wait, shh.
He prejudiced that he need to go.
Hey, Brad, you need to go.
Short and sweet.
Can you imagine you got this guy?
I don't want my kids to come to school and watch some a black person, a white person standing in the hall loving and kissing on each other.
Arguing.
You think I'm sending them to school to get that kind of education? No, I'm not.
You got that guy arguing with this guy.
He prejudiced that he need to go.
I think they should just close that school.
That's America. And people are worried about violence on television.
Just close that school. There's no need to keep it open.
Yeah, that's an accident waiting to happen.
If I see my daughter with a Chinese, I'll shoot him like a squirrel.
Who will you shoot, your daughter or the Chinese?
Both of them.
The Negro has to stay away from my kids.
Yeah, well, like I said before. You can't rely on it.
Now listen here, Negro, I'm going to argue with you. So get the marbles out of your mouth. Now, I don't want you with my daughter.
Yeah, but he must be president because, like I said before.
Yeah. You got a point there, but... I don't want my daughter dating no jungle animal. Do you hear me? What a powder keg down there, huh?
Tinderbox.
Tinderbox, ready to go off.
That's entertainment.
You're not kidding. Get down there with Oprah.
Should be a whole cable network.
I'm telling you, just set a stage around those people.
The next dance
fever.
Yeah, that's such like a weird thing for a principal to come out with all of a sudden. Like, you know, how long had I just would love to know how long the principal had been on.
Well, why don't we try to get him on these airwaves for an interview?
Okay.
I'm sure he's available.
I'll try that.
He just got suspended. He's just sitting at home.
Yeah.
Watching Oprah. Drinking.
Drinking.
Call up and agree with him.
We don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, I'll call up and agree with him.
Picking my toe.
There you go. We'll
Yeah.
say we advocate.
Yeah, we're for you over here.
And we want to give him his voice.
We're for you up here north.
The American stand-up.
Hey, Gary, get that guy on the phone. Tell him I'm all for it. It's the only way you're going to get him on the air. And I'll talk like this.
Hey, I'm up here north, but boy, my roots are in the south. I got to tell you, boy.
You can't imagine what's happened up here in New York.
New York.
New York City.
I'm here in New York. All I see is moolies and homos and heebs.
All dating each other.
Yeah, all here in one big mixture, and before you know it, it's going to be happening down south. Hey, I'll just tell the guy, like, I'll yell into the microphone and stuff.
Crack mothers and towel heads.
Hey, where is that happening?
In Alabama.
Gary, get that guy. Quickly, call Alabama. Sounds fantastic.
While we're waiting, I'll just tell you that the shorter you are, the greater your risk of heart disease.
Yeah.
You say that
Poor
short
Billy.
people have an attitude. There's a good reason for it. They're going to die.
I'm having chest pain.
What is that?
I'm having chest pain.
I can see why.
The conclusion is from a new study to be presented today at the convention of the American College of Cardiology in Atlanta. They say that the possible reason is that short people have, shorter arteries.
Really?
And more likely to get clogged up.
It's amazing. I would have thought just the opposite because I never see any old, tall people. You know what I mean? I only see old, short people. You never see like a really tall guy. That's why I know I'm not going to live long. I never see like a guy my height being real old.
Well, your father's pretty tall. He's pretty long.
He's 6'2" or something.
That's pretty tall.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's not average.
My heart is failing. Hey, no blacks at the prom.
So
now, midget love is all right.
Midget love. They can mix with the regular size.
Oh, yeah.
Those people have a big cross to bear. You can give them whatever they need.
You got to feel bad for them.
So what the medical experts would say to short people is try to avoid as many of the risks of heart disease as you possibly can.
Right.
Since you have more of a tendency to have those clogged arteries like
chink
smoking.
food.
Chink food.
Shut up, Shorty.
Smoking, high blood pressure, cholesterol, and all that other stuff. So you should exercise, good diet, that sort of thing.
Exercise. Yeah, well, Billy does a lot of that.
Yeah.
He's in shape.
He's taking care of himself.
Yeah, he looks really good. Another week to live.
I see in page 6 today, they say that the reason Melanie Griffith is upset with Don Johnson is not because of his possible womanizing that's been reported. It's because he's off the wagon.
Oh.
He joined AA in 1983
Melanie.
and then got her straightened
My
out.
career has hit the bottom.
Off drugs.
I can't get a hit.
I want a drink.
But now there are reports that Johnson has been seen drinking.
It wasn't booze.
He hosted a wine tasting party for all of his male buddies at the Caribou Club just a few months ago.
Melanie. I thought that waitress was you. Ugh. Ugh.
There's an article in Redbook magazine this month that says sources in Aspen say Johnson has been seen drinking alcohol.
Hey!
It was Lysol.
Our sources tell us that at the opening of the Planet Hollywood there, Johnson was seen drinking wine and doing shots of tequila. I guess that is off the wagon.
Arriba.
I was in Jupiter.
And page 6 has learned that Johnson was drinking recently at a dinner with friends in L.A. When the meal was over, he invited everyone back to his California house to show them his private art collection.
Oh, yes.
I'm TV's Don Johnson.
I was on my happy vice.
I throw up on my Van Gogh.
Here they say he was so bombed he couldn't remember any of the artists' names.
My name is John Donson.
He would just say, "This is by, you know."
Ben Renoir.
You know.
Rembrandt drew the Mona Lisa.
There's a painting by Leroy Neiman. It's of Howard Stern. Where's my Thunderbird?
Melanie, according to Redbook, is very upset.
Melanie.
Don't talk to them. Just say a word.
Don't take a present.
And in this week's Star magazine, they report that Johnson got into a slugfest with Gary Oldman at the Whiskey Bar in Los Angeles.
Excuse me, just like first of all,
Are you Dracula?
I would like to show you my art collection, Dracula. Now, wait a second. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, God, that felt good.
Oh, dear.
Shut up, Melanie. Shut up and clean my puke off that Rembrandt.
Oh, my goodness. They say that one of Johnson's people invited Gary Oldman over to
Dracula
to join Johnson for a drink, but Oldman turned down the offer.
Melanie, it's Dracula.
When Johnson bumped into Oldman outside the men's room, things got ugly.
Oh, you'll drink blood, but you won't drink with me.
Kick your ass.
Don attempted to make light conversation and gave Dracula a pat on the back.
Hey, Dracula.
How's the weather, Dracula?
I could have been Dracula.
But Oldman slapped his hand away.
You slapped my hand away.
After yelling at Oldman, Johnson followed him back to the bar where they traded shoves and insults. Fists flew until James Caan's security guards broke things up.
Oh, there's a guy in control.
F you.
Where are these bars? I got to go to these bars. I want to be with James Caan security guys.
He's hitting me.
The question, is Don drinking? Answered by Elliot Mintz, their publicist, is it would be untrue if I told you he still abstains from the use of alcohol.
Melanie. Strip and go mix the Bloody Marys. The room is spinning.
Why did they ever make that record with Barbara Streisand?
You know, at this point.
No, you know, I couldn't stand there printing his own Bibles. Had to get off that friggin' show so I could go be in bad movies. Mickey Rock. Mickey, I love you.
Why didn't I make it big? Why? Pour me. Pour me another drink. Pour me a drink. Pour me a drink.
Melanie got breast implants for me.
And now she's gone. Melanie. Where's Gary Oldman?
He's a good guy. He'll talk to me.
Hey, friend.
Hey, Dracula.
Hey, Lee Harvey Oswald. Hey. Pussy.
Oh, jeez.
It turns from love to hate in 2 seconds.
Don't you love alcoholics?
Come here, friend. Let's drink. Hey, pussy. I can't drink with you. Melanie's left me. She's gone.
I hate myself. I love myself. Is this Aspen or Mexico? My God, I'm nude. Come back! Go away.
If this doesn't sober him up, nothing will.
I want to show you my... Hey, Dracula. Want to see my art collection? Oh, wait a second. Listen to this. Pull my finger. Look. Oh. Dracula, pull my finger.
Come on, man.
You're my main man.
We're both actors, buddy. Huh? The business. Dance for me. Dracula.
Come see my art collection.
Bastard, get out.
Puke on you.
Well, the refrigerator where Jeffrey Dahmer stored skulls and many of those body parts he severed from his victims. It may be among the belongings auctioned off to help pay more than $80 million in judgments awarded to the victims of his relatives of his victims.
How much for this refrigerator?
I could have played him. I got 450 scripts and not one decent plot.
No wonder you're drinking.
Thomas Jacobson, the lawyer for 8 of the families, wants some of the serial killer's furniture and housewares to go on the auction block. prosecutors say they need to keep only the evidence that they may need if his conviction should be overturned. So they are not opposed to selling any of the other things that wouldn't be needed in case of a new trial.
I bet on the drill he used to bore holes in those guys' heads.
Well, that would be something you'd use for evidence.
You know who ought to buy the refrigerator? The black guy from Miami Vice. He could live in it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just as long as he removes the lock from the door. We don't want him to get stuck.
Where is he?
They were planning to have a Guns for Tickets concert here
There's an idea.
at the Beacon Theater, but only 48 guns or something were turned in, or 26 guns, not even 48. They only got 26 guns, so they're canceling the concert.
Who was playing, Stuttering John?
Run DMC and Heavy D were among the stars to headline the concert that was supposed to be this Friday night. It was supposed to be hosted by Dr. Dre and Ed Lover of Yo MTV Raps and radio station Hot 97.
Can't believe any of those people you just mentioned are celebrities.
They were prepared to give away 1,400 pairs of tickets.
Are they celebrities if they can only attract 46 people to a concert?
26.
26?
Yeah, 26 guns is all they got.
Huh.
So I guess people would rather shoot each other.
I don't think that...
Go see those people.
Yeah, I don't think people who go to rap concerts are really interested in giving up their guns. You know what I mean? That's sort of part of the whole thing. And what is Dr. Dre a doctor of? Well, there you go, Robin.
You never know.
Right.
It's a wacky world we live in.
You handled that story very nice.
Guess who has a talk show tonight?
Conan O'Brien.
No.
Regis Philbin.
No.
Tom Snyder. The black guy from Miami Vice.
You're wrong again. It's called One-on-One with Magic Johnson.
Oh, yeah? He's got a talk show?
That's right. Magic will be interviewing Whoopi Goldberg. It's like Magic and his friends. Whoopi Goldberg, Garth Brooks, Roseanne and Tom Arnold, and Shaquille O'Neal.
Now, why would someone want to talk to Magic Johnson? The world's worst.
Yeah, whatever gave anybody the impression that Magic Johnson would be a good interviewer.
And wasn't it just a few months ago that Whoopi was interviewing Magic Johnson on her show? Didn't that kind of fail in the ratings?
So,
if he wants to do an interview, he should interview the person who infected him. Now, that's an interview I'll tune into.
All the women.
Now, come on, baby. What the hell was on your mind? You knew you had the HIV. That's V, Magic. You knew you had it and you done giving it to me.
Well, of course, Magic has to do publicity to
Oh, get him on our show. We'll help him publicize it.
publicize this thing. So here's a little bit of what he had to say.
All right. Magic Johnson, Robin.
Roseanne, Tom, after it was over, came up to me and said, you know, we've been doing this book tour thing.
Yeah, sure.
Some of the things we said with you, we had talked about we wasn't going to say with anybody.
What a command of the language.
Well, that's
Because of the fact
we wasn't
that you
gonna-
made us relax. And we were like talking like to a friend.
Yeah, sure.
This is unbelievable.
What?
If he sweats on you, Tom, just wipe it off right away. Yeah.
You're the only man who wants to make love to me. I don't want to get you infected.
Magic Johnson. We was having the interview, and what an excellent command of the language.
Well, he sounds like a guy who could interview, right?
Yeah.
He calls that show Magic and His Friends.
Mm.
Do you remember that videotape we saw of Magic and His Friends?
Yeah, it was drastically different than the show he's talking about.
They were different friends.
It was a... do you have something you want to say? Oh. Yeah, we saw a whole big video of that. It was a bunch of guys all standing around a pool with bikini girls. Now, that was a party.
Having a contest, yes.
Yeah. Now, Roseanne and Tom says we was so relaxed that we's had a great interview. What was the grammar he used there? We was...
Roseanne and Tom said they was on this book tour thing.
And then we was doing...
And the things they said to me, they was not going to talk about on any show.
I got to hear that again. That was good.
Roseanne, Tom, after it was over, came up to me and said, you know, we've been doing this
My hero
tour thing. some of the things we said with you, we had talked about we wasn't going to say with anybody.
We wasn't going to say with anybody. We wasn't going to say with anybody.
Well, we wasn't.
And he's got an exciting way of speaking that I know will electrify
Oh, yes.
any interview process.
Absolutely.
He really comes to life. What they said was that they was
They wasn't going to say to anybody.
So they gave me a show because I bring things out in people. And the guy that's interviewing didn't even laugh. They ain't gonna give me the show after Letterman. Yeah. They should have him interview John Wayne Bobbitt to be. Oh, boy. Now, you got your penis cut over.
Well, what about an HIV show?
Yeah, you got a penis cut over there?
That's right, yeah.
What?
Yeah, well,
So what was it like when your penis got cut off?
Well, it's like, it's like, it's like I was...
And your penis really hurt.
You had sex problems too.
Interviewing John Wayne Bobbitt, he wasn't going to say nothing, and then he said everything.
I gets it out of him.
I gets it out of him one way or another.
I'm good for 80%.
I threatened to sweat on him when he talked.
Oh. Now, is that one of the things that everybody will have to sit right next to Magic?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You'll have to prove that you're not afraid of magic.
Not afraid.
That's a whole big. You have to. Like, Roseanne have to kiss him.
Sit in his lap.
I remember the.
I got a dental dam. I'm gonna fool him.
What?
I got a dental dam.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fool him. And stuff.
Meanwhile, they're putting garbage bags over the cameras.
Guys are working his face.
Yeah. I always like that when they do the HIV interview and you have to prove, like, all the technicians have to prove they're not afraid to handle the microphone and the earpiece and everything with someone who's HIV positive.
They throw the cameras away.
Yeah. It's like a whole big issue. Remember the girl who died of AIDS and they made a story of her life, and the girl who played her? Who played her?
Oh, gee.
I know. Wasn't it like what was that girl with the red hair? Bozo. No. What was the girl with the red hair? You know, the
Molly
Ringwald. Wasn't she playing the girl with AIDS on TV?
Yes, you're right.
And she had her, she said to her, hey, the girl who had AIDS was a consultant on the film. And she said, hey, why don't you take a sip of my Coca-Cola?
Oh, right.
And then, Molly Ringwald had to take a sip of the Coca-Cola to prove that she wasn't afraid of the girl. I think it might have been perfectly reasonable to say, I'm a little nervous here drinking from your glass.
I don't drink from anybody's glass.
Yeah, why do I have to drink from yours?
Everybody drinks from this cup before we get started.
Now, I would love to produce the Magic Johnson interview show. I can make it interesting. Now, before we get started, Roseanne and Tom, you're going to have to take a sip from my straw.
In fact, just have a big bowl out there of water and with different separate straws.
Yeah, and each guest...
Everybody has to drink with magic.
Yeah, and each guest has to prove how much more they're not afraid of doing stuff with magic. Like, eventually, you have to, digitally manipulate Magic Johnson on camera to prove that you're not afraid of him.
All right, yeah, the next person comes out. First you drink, then the tongue kiss.
Yeah, right. Now, Tom, you're going to have to tongue kiss me if we're going to continue with the interview.
Then we're all going to take a bath.
He's in a bathtub with Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi not afraid.
Jacuzzi, Whoopi.
A jacuzzi.
Jacuzzi interview.
Yeah. And the name of the show could be Magic Johnson's Death Sentence. Just be you sit there and you have to prove to Magic how much.
It could be a new game show.
Yeah.
Magic roulette.
Magic, spit on me.
He got you right in the eye, Rosie.
Welcome to Last Night with Magic Johnson, where every guest might be on his last night. You heard a late night with David Letterman. I'm the last night. Now, who am I interviewing tonight, Robin? Who are some of my guests?
Whoopi.
Whoopi, who else?
And Tom and Roseanne.
Anyone else?
Shaq.
Shaq, now you're going to have to wipe yourself with my face cloth tonight before we start the interview.
Just to prove
that you love me.
That everything is cool.
Use my toothbrush.
Yeah, you have to brush your teeth with my toothbrush.
And floss.
And here is Garth Brooks. I'm a big fan of country music.
Now, I'm going to vomit in your hat, and you're going to have to wear it.
Pull it over your head.
And eat it with a spoon.
Now, hold on, because I'm going to tongue kiss each member of my staff. Otherwise, they ain't on the staff. Yeah, you'll see, like, Whoopi will have to sit right on Magic's lap.
Yeah, that's what I figured. There won't be two separate chairs.
Yeah, prove how liberal she is.
And that's what's happening.
Good morning, Sandra.
How are you?
Good. How about yourself?
Great. Excellent. What's up? What's happening? Somebody sent some ugly flowers.
Yeah.
Those aren't for Howard.
Right this way, Sam. Sorry.
I'm just following around like I always do.
I'm just glad when I don't walk into the wall.
Well, that's
always a good morning.
Always a good day, right?
So, absolutely. So, you've got a new show on
series,
Logo.
Fabulous, called DTLA, Downtown LA.
All right.
It's a very groovy show about groovy people in LA.
And
Live downtown.
Howard's a groovy person.
Well, yeah, we know that.
Possibly the grooviest.
But he is not an groovy LA person. He's a groovy New York person.
True.
I can never see Howard living in LA.
No, absolutely not.
That's not even in the realm of possibility. I don't even know if Howard ever goes to LA. I've never known him to go to LA.
I think only with America's Got Talent when he had to go to
when he
some
had
of the
to go,
auditions.
when he was forced.
Yeah, but he doesn't like traveling or anything.
No, I know he doesn't. He likes getting in his car, staying in the New York environs, as it were.
Yes.
Right?
You know him very well.
I do know. I've known Howard for a long time, since the 80s.
I watch people come through these doors and they're shaking with trepidation.
Well, also they don't get the humanity of Howard.
Exactly.
The
and
depth.
You do. You look into those blue eyes.
Yeah. When he lets me in.
Right.
You know, you have to kind of work your way in slowly.
Do you think you can get in there today?
I think the question is, will he get into me today?
Ooh,
That's
I
more
like
important.
that. See?
I've gotten into Howard. Now it's time for Howard to get into me.
Spoken like a Stern Show veteran.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. He has to do the work to get into me. I'm always there. I'm always an open book. Giving. And now it's time to take.
The ball's in his court.
That's
He's
right.
gonna have to.
Right. You know it.
I like your style, Sam.
It's the way it is. It's the reality of our very, tough times that we're living in.
True.
It's, economic downturn, emotional downturn. So we like to fill it back up.
Okay.
All of my resources.
Well, best of luck today.
Thank you, honey. Thank you. I'm going to need it.
Oh, Sandra Bernhard is here. You know, she's an amazing woman, this Sandra Bernhard, because everything... She's so connected to show business.
She lives and breathes it.
She lives and breathes show business. And, I think about all the stories I know about you.
Thank you, Gary.
All the stories you've told me about in your life.
Yes, baby.
And, everything comes back to you in a weird way. I'm even thinking about, the big scandal this year was Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
And you were the woman he originally hit on. And that
on the beach.
Yeah.
In Venice.
Sandra Bernhard was walking down the street in Venice on the beach.
I was laying on the beach in Venice.
Right.
And Arnold came over and he leaned down on one knee, very chivalrous. I don't know.
Chivalrous.
Shovel.
Yeah.
A shovel.
It
was a shovel ceremony.
Chivalrous. You look good.
Thank you, sweet. I miss you.
I miss you too. I haven't seen you.
Well, I guess you got so busy.
Yeah. Well, I'm a judge.
Yeah, you're a judge.
Yeah.
Here come the judge.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi, darling.
Hey, baby.
So,
Yeah, I was thinking about... Oh, yeah, go ahead. You were saying...
Well, you're always saying you want to see me back in my acting mode.
Yeah, what's going on?
Well, I'm on this fabulous new show that's on Logo called DTLA.
Logo is...
Downtown LA.
Logo is the gay network.
It's the gay network, but they're kind of trying to reach out across the board now because
be a little more
gay
inclusive.
Is the new black,
right? It is, yeah.
And everybody's gay, and everybody wants to be part of it.
What is the show? Tell me what you're up
to. I play the lead character's mother, and the lead character, his life is falling apart.
He's a gay fellow.
He's a gay fellow, very cute, sexy
and you're the mom.
guy. And I'm his mom, and he comes to see me, and he falls apart, and I say, listen, you're a mess, and fucking pull your shit together.
Are you
little fagula.
Are you understanding of him being gay?
Well, yeah, because Melanie Griffith plays my ex on the show.
Oh, you're gay too.
We've raised, discreetly.
Oh, you're gay and your son is gay.
Yeah.
And you're gay with Melanie Griffith.
Yeah.
How's she looking?
She looks great.
I almost did a movie with her.
You did?
Yeah.
How much did you love Melanie? Isn't she?
I don't know her that well.
You know,
she came into town and had a meeting with me about this
Really?
movie. Yeah.
Recently?
No, 100 years ago.
Okay. Well, Melanie is Hollywood royalty.
Is she?
Well, you know,
You're right. Tippi Hedren.
Tippi Hedren.
Who was in Hitchcock the Bird. Yeah.
And now they've done that HBO special.
I think she's hot.
I've always had, well, first was I adore her as a person, but I've always thought she was the sexiest person in the world.
When you are gay with Melanie Griffith, I mean, the role is that you're lovers.
Well, we're ex-lovers.
Oh, you're ex-lovers. So
yeah,
you don't get
we've raised our son together. We were like on the cutting edge of having a child before anybody else.
So there's nothing sexual between you and Melanie.
We meet up to discuss our son, and we sort of, there's a moment of rekindling the emotions, so that when
kissing.
It gets, no, there's no kissing, but next season.
Titties.
Next season.
Titties. Come on, give me something here.
We're in a store. We're in her store.
No titty in the store?
Not titties.
Oh, Christ.
Titties. City titty. Big
I'd love
city
to see
titty.
you guys topless, and you don't care about being topless. It would be great, you and Melanie Griffith.
We got to work toward it in next season.
Will you have love scenes?
I think we'll get to it.
You know, I always said this to you.
Yes,
I think you're a fabulous actress when you were on Roseanne, and especially when you were in King of Comedy.
Well, I think you're going to see that again on this show.
Because I think Hollywood turned its back on you.
They did. They shit all over me.
Do people know that Sandra Bernhard was offered the role in Sex and the City of Amanda?
I did not know that.
And she turned it down. Is that a brilliant move?
Not Amanda, Miranda. Actually, it was Amanda. It was.
Yeah, she was Amanda. They wrote her out.
But they wrote that part off.
They didn't like her. No, but you were offered the part of Miranda.
Right.
And you turned it down.
Well, I turned it down because there wasn't enough money, and who knew the show was going to be a big hit?
When you would seriously, be honest, when you sit home and watch that show, would you like pull the fucking hair out of your head? No?
I don't really see myself in that role. I think, and I'm not trying to be magnanimous or like self-deprecating.
It was something you don't think you could have done well.
I think that that Cynthia Nixon was really right for the role.
Okay, yes, but you could have been
I would have done
too.
something different.
You would have been a fun, sassy friend
that's true. It's true.
I think you're putting yourself down here.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, I think you.
But I think there's something else that's better suited for me.
Have you turned down other things I don't know about that you should have taken?
No.
No, that was the big one.
No, that was the big one.
That was a big
Everybody
paycheck.
in Hollywood has. It wasn't a big paycheck until the end.
Right.
That's the whole point.
Right.
I mean, I don't want to say what they were offering $7,500 a week.
Someone told me you were worth, how much were they offering?
$500 a week.
Right. In other words, HBO gets away with
And I'd already done Roseanne and was making quite a bit more than that.
What can you make a week on a Roseanne on a sitcom?
Compared to network.
Yeah,
exactly.
but HBO got away for years.
Exactly. Well, they still do.
And by the way, I know when you're sitting at home, you hear $7,500 a week. You go, fuck, I'll take that. But this girl's making money doing clubs and doing television. She brings her price down like that. Then all of a sudden you're...
That was part of the problem. I consulted with my representation. I was like $7,500 a week. And it wasn't like anybody was like... Nobody knew about Sex and the City. This was not like something that was like out of the gate. It took a year for that show to get its legs. But they were still not making... I think that for 2 years people were making $7,500
So your management said, hey, listen, you're doing much better on Roseanne.
Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Exactly.
Right, yeah, I get it.
You know what I mean? So, of course, in retrospect...
Someone told me you were worth $8 million.
That's the word out on the street,
yeah.
Howard.
Is that true? $8 million?
A little more.
Because you kind of walk around like you're poor or something. You try to...
I mean, you got to, so that people keep paying you.
Right.
What business... excuse me, Howard. What are you worth?
No, but I'm just saying...
$1 billion. Are you going to lower your price just because...
No, I'm just trying to figure out what you're worth.
Who cares what's in the bank?
Right.
Bringing it home in the bank.
You're trying to make a living out there.
I'm trying to make more than a living.
So they come to you, this network logo.
Yeah. The show was done guerrilla style first.
Don't you? When I hear guerrilla, I hear cheap.
Yeah.
Right.
But, now you got no choice.
Is this a real acting role? I mean, do you get to do like what you did in Kings of Comedy?
Yeah, well, I mean, you're never going to do that again.
Were you nominated for that? No.
I was, no, not for an Oscar, but I was given the National Society of Film Critics Best Supporting Actress, which is usually the precursor to getting nominated.
And then you didn't get nominated.
Back in those days, though, it was 83. The machinery wasn't in place.
What does that mean?
The publicity. Now every young actress, you walk into it.
I can't imagine you didn't get nominated.
I know,
for that. And maybe you're right. Nowadays they would have been all over that.
Now.
Yeah,
I would have been all over it because I would have been a much savvier person. I was like an artist. What did I know?
Why the hell didn't you get offered more movie roles after that? What happened?
Because I did, and a lot of the movie roles were like I was shooting this film called Beer.
Yeah.
And it was a piece of dreck.
Right.
You know what I mean? The movie roles were not up to the
and
to the
sometimes
standards.
you got to just take a movie role and hope for the best. You're not in control.
But that movie was never even released, so there you go. I mean,
it's a lot of goddamn problems.
Yeah, look at me.
The
road is not straight.
The road is not straight at all.
The road is not straight, honey.
And how is the gay network doing? The Logo Network. I mean, are they making any money? Are they making any inroads? What? I don't hear a thing about.
Well,
them.
they had RuPaul's Drag Race.
Well, there you go.
That kind of put the.
That was their signature show.
Do they have any shows?
There, I stand on my word. Like I said, they got nothing. No.
Yeah, who's doing worse, the Oprah Network or the Logo Network?
I think Logo's done okay.
Has it? Do they have a show that's broken through into the consciousness? Do they have their Snooki of
the RuPaul's a huge show.
You're not kidding.
Is a big deal.
RuPaul Drag Race is a big deal.
Oh my God!
What is it like? The American Idol of drag?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Exactly.
Oh okay.
It's
I should watch
show.
that. I would
You'd
watch
like
that.
It.
I do like those guys. I've hung out with some drag queens.
Listen, I put drag queens on the map back in the late '80s, honey.
You were always a big supporter.
Always. I knew, and I had like my finger on the pulse, and I continue to do.
I saw your old buddy Madonna's in town.
Oh, she's back. That's right. She's coming back through. That poor girl. She's been on the road now. I think it's 6 months, and then
why? Why is she doing it? What's the drive there?
She's running from herself.
Is that it?
I think so.
I sometimes wonder, why is she working so hard? I mean, what is she trying to prove? That she still can keep up with the young kids?
I think it's a combo platter.
Yeah.
But
and then all the controversy, putting up, Nazi symbols and.
Well, my favorite thing was that she showed her ass from Malala. Malala was that wonderful little 14-year-old girl from. From Pakistan.
Yeah.
Who was shot on a bus.
Because
she's a feminist. She's
right,
like,
she
she's
stood up for
She said, I want an education, and everybody else should get one too.
Like the kid hasn't been through enough. Now she has to see Madonna's ass.
Veiny ass.
That's a real tribute, to a 14-year-old. Malala, I love you so much, I'm going to show you my ass.
You don't miss that friendship with that great attitude of hers that she puts together the dots that says, hey, I'm going to show my ass for Malala? It's crazy.
I saw her at Yom Kippur. We had a little
is that right?
Up. Yeah.
Well, how would that go?
At
the Kabbalah Center?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
thought you go to a different. I thought you go to a different temple.
I do most of the time. Although I'm tired of the whole fucking thing. You know what
Are you getting rid of religion? You're throwing it out?
Well, because religion is the cause of 90% of the problems in the world. I mean, not spirituality, but when religion comes in, and of course, they were all like, they're all freaked out because Obama's not pro-Israeli enough because he wants Israel to settle and get. Let's make this happen. Let's move forward. Finally,
trying to find a solution.
Yeah, let's be a real,
let's have a real negotiation.
Exactly, and they don't want to do that.
Well, that's a complicated situation.
It's very complicated. I'm not saying, but don't tell me because Obama, they're a little racist. They say the Schwarzer,
right?
All the religious people.
Yeah.
We have to take our marching orders from a Schwarzer.
Meanwhile, go to Israel. Everybody looks like a Schwarzer.
Honey, they all are.
That's right. That's exactly
Please.
right.
We're all Schwarzers from the beginning.
That's
honey.
right.
Look at us, the lips, the noses. When you look at older black people and Jews, they
merge into one.
They morph into one.
Jews and blacks are the same.
Yeah.
That's right.
They have the same bad attitudes later in life, too. They yell at you.
You took me to temple one time.
That's right.
And I watched you in there, and we went to a very Orthodox place.
Yeah.
And we were separated because you're a woman and I'm a man.
Exactly.
And so I watched you pray and sing. Yeah. You love it. You get so much fun out of it.
I love the music.
But so you're saying now you're rejecting it and not going?
No, I'm not rejecting that at all. I'm rejecting the fundamentalism of it.
Right.
You know, where they start like telling you, you know.
So maybe you should go to a Reform temple where
they don't play the same music.
Right. You like the real deal.
I like the traditional prayers.
Have you ever heard
melodies.
Rabbi Gottfried, who I think is one of the greatest singers of all time of traditional Jewish music?
No.
Fred, if you have some, play some for Sandra. Tell me what you think of him. I think this guy's got the best voice, that this is going to move you as a religious person. No, listen. What do you think of this guy?
Is that Gilbert Gottfried? Yes. I saw him on my street the other day with his 2 kids.
Isn't it weird to see Gilbert with children?
I walked right past him.
Oh, you did? It's too weird?
I don't like getting into stuff with him. You know what I mean? Because he's always like, he gets into that contrarian mode that he's been in from day one.
I know what you're speaking about. I have gone out, I'm walking
around.
Turn
that off. I'm going to lose my fucking mind.
I was out on the street one night, and I was going to a wonderful restaurant with my wife, and this was years ago. And all of a sudden, I see Gilbert there with his then girlfriend, which was so freaky anyway.
What does the girlfriend/wife look like?
But beautiful girl, very, very attractive girl,
really,
and very nice and very normal. And
the kids are cute.
Yeah, and so I saw Gilbert, and I'm like, "Hey, Gilbert, how you doing?"
Not so good.
Not even like he looked at me like he didn't know me. I mean, I know this guy for 100 years.
Yeah,
it was
of course
like
we all do.
I said I thought this was an act a little bit. It's not. I mean, you're right. It's very awkward to meet him outside of any kind of showbiz situation.
I saw him from behind, and of course he's immediately recognizable, and he's pushing a carriage. I was like, is there something in there? I thought maybe there was like an old pug or something.
Or maybe
how people do that in New York.
Yeah.
Like old people
in the stores, they have a dog.
Or maybe
you see an old pug with gray and.
But with Gilbert, you think maybe it's just all the free bottles of water he takes from my studio. Who knows? And he puts it in a baby carriage.
But then I saw a little girl walking in front, screaming after her brother. Morty, Daddy wants you to come back here. You're too far away. And Gilbert's like this with that face. I'm like, the children don't run from you. Even though you are the father, they still must be frightened of him.
Imagine him as a daddy?
No, I cannot imagine it.
If we didn't produce that reality show, we'd be millionaires, right? I mean,
I don't think he'd let anybody in. Even Gilbert is too embarrassed about his own strange, evolution.
You hate reality television.
I'm not a fan of it.
I love it. I mean, some of it. You don't watch Beverly Hills Housewives?
I have watched them.
And it turns you off. You get like crazy.
That doesn't turn me off. I just think it's like unnecessary.
So you're against reality television?
Well, when there's such good, scripted television, Homeland.
Oh my God!
Breaking Bad,
DTLA, my new show.
DTLA, Dexter.
Yeah, all the great shows.
Do you watch all these shows?
I do watch them all.
Empire.
Boardwalk Empire. Arrow. I think I lost you guys.
Yeah, there's great shows. Modern Family's a great
I can't believe how great Homeland is.
Homeland is unbelievable.
Unreal.
I mean, are you caught up with it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Last week was
the best. I just wanted to go on for 25 hours.
I say to Sarah, my girlfriend, I say I could stay up till 3 a.m. watching the show.
Right.
If it was 5 hours, I would run off to get like a bowl of popcorn and come back.
I was telling Robin this morning, there's this guy I read, Bob Lefsetz. He writes an email column. It's like a blog or something.
Yeah.
And he made the point. He said, remember when rock stars were cool? All we wanted to be was rock stars. They were
right.
Cool. Now you almost laugh at them. Now it's like Homeland is the thing.
Yeah.
Or everything else is cool.
All the leads. I mean, I've never been a fan of Mandy Patinkin. How brilliant
Me
is
too.
He?
I thought he sucked, and now he's fantastic.
Now he's so introspective, and you see so many layers and the emotions.
Don't you love him? Wouldn't you love him to be your father?
Oh my God! Yeah. Like when the girl offs herself the other day, and he cries over it. I mean,
it's great.
The level of emotion on that show.
Yeah, he's really good.
The writing is phenomenal.
You're saying your new show is as good as that?
It's different than that. It's different. It's
comedy?
No, I mean it's light. It's like it's like the drama of the downtown.
Who plays your son?
This very cute guy named I believe his name is Matthew Herrick.
And how gay does he get? Does he blow other guys in it? And like is there simulated sex scenes?
Well, I think it's sexy. It's not.
Sexy.
It's not like over the top like porn.
Right.
But there's like real relationships. Like it's like the modern gay world.
Right.
Where
imagine gay mothers and the kid turns out to be gay.
Is that shocking?
And the kid is upset that he's gay.
No, he's not upset that he's gay. He's upset because he's breaking up with his boyfriend.
Oh.
And he has a black boyfriend who's a lawyer. And he's like a ne'er-do-well. He's like a lazy, and I'm telling him, get your life together. Get out there. Get a job. Do something. Pull yourself out of your self-indulgence and depression.
Sound like a nag.
She's a mom.
I'm a mother.
All right. Now, you are a mother. You
And I am
in
a
real
mother.
life.
That's right.
Your daughter is not gay.
No,
or you don't
she
know
is
yet.
not going to be. No.
She is not.
No.
She's way into guys.
She's just, you know, when a kid is and isn't. She has a lot of self-respect.
Right.
She doesn't give it up. She's doing her homework and sticking to the.
Is she a disappointment that she's not gay?
Not in the least.
Okay.
No,
Don't we want
what we're
gay?
trying to
don't we-
raise is a good
Are we
human
trying to
being.
I
raise
want
her?
her to be a happy,
You
well-adjusted.
don't want her as a gay person?
if that was, if that was like a natural
Did
inclination.
you say to her, gay is a lot less complicated? It really is, I think.
That would be like Maude. Remember, Maude wanted her daughter to be gay. So
Are
she
you
could be
kidding?
So current.
My daughters, all three of them are heterosexual. I said to them, I want you to be gay.
Well, I think you want the opposite. I want to, I want to dance at her wedding. I mean, I want
You
her.
do?
Yeah, I want her to be with a nice person. I mean,
You really want your daughter with a disgusting man?
I hope,
Ugh.
hopefully they won't be disgusting.
What man isn't disgusting?
That's true.
Now think about it.
Even you, Howard, in your own
Oh,
way.
I'm so gross. Oh.
You're needy.
Even like I notice I'm older now, my balls are starting to smell a little bit. I got to shower like 2-3 times a day.
Well,
Everything's-
they grab the sweat.
No, they grab the pee.
Oh,
I dribble.
God.
Yeah, you pee on my balls. How'd you like to be married to that?
Well, how does Beth deal with that?
Pal.
Beth is very fresh.
I keep it. She's so fresh, like a daisy.
How's Beth?
She's doing well.
I miss her.
Yeah, she's
Are you
great.
guys getting a new dog?
She says we will, but we have 4 cats. I'm very happy with that.
You really got into the cats.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
surprises me.
4 cats. We love these cats.
I know you brought one back from like the brink of death.
Yes, many of them.
And they're all in good shape now.
Yes. Hey,
You're such a good dad.
I wanted to ask you about this.
Yes, baby.
You were friends with Phyllis Diller, the comedian?
Yes.
Who knew that?
I knew her a little bit over the years, but toward the end, we went together to Hawaii to do Roseanne's reality show, Roseanne's Nuts.
And did you like her?
Phyllis?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Good woman.
Brilliant.
Inspiration to you as a comedian?
Of course, growing up. I mean...
And you didn't even finish the story of Madonna, so you see her in the temple, like just recently.
Yeah, no, I went over and said hi. That's,
And it wasn't weird?
No, I've seen her so many times over the
Oh,
years.
really?
She
Oh.
blows hot and cold. I think that she has 4 kids now.
Wow.
And that's a lot of responsibility, especially when you're out on the road for 8 months.
Yeah, I was going to say, is she
It's like,
really
hello?
taking that responsibility?
How is she raising those kids if she's on the road for
I don't
8
know,
months?
because we haven't hung out at her place, so I don't know. I mean, I don't really know how she does it. She has a
I'd be
lot of
curious.
help.
She must.
Of course, everybody does, but,
Would she ever come over and say hello to you, or do you always have to go over and say
I always go say hello to her.
Yeah. Doesn't that annoy you a bit? I mean, what is that?
I don't really care at this point. It's like, who gives a shit?
But how does the conversation end? Because I'm so awkward with this stuff. That's why I'm asking you.
I just said, hey, let's get together when you get off the road. Oh, yeah, I'm living on the Upper East Side. And I say, great. And and then what? It's just to come over with like a bag of cookies and just sit and schmooze. I mean, what?
So isn't that awkward that you say, hey, let's
it's not
hunting
awkward
for her.
What's that, Ron?
I say supposed to go hunting for her. You're on the Upper East Side.
Yeah,
Yeah, right,
exactly.
right, yeah.
I'll try to find you.
Yeah, I mean, that's such a fucking blow off.
Oh,
and it's,
I know.
I live over there.
I'm an Upper East Sider now.
Yeah, right.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But Phyllis Diller was fabulous.
Yeah, I interviewed her once, about 100 years ago.
Did you have fun?
Yeah, I mean, who even remembers? I was at NBC. It was like a million years
Yeah.
ago. I'm sure she thought I was insane.
No,
Yeah.
Phyllis was not a judgmental person.
Really?
No, she's a good lady.
Yeah, I just was wondering. And then another friend of yours, which I didn't even know, like you are so networked. Jane Fonda's a good friend of yours?
What Jane had me co-host this fundraiser with her a few weeks ago. She has this initiative to raise money for
And the body is still good on her.
Yeah, so the whole thing is good.
She looks good.
She looks amazing.
Do you know her for years?
She's somebody I've known, and to say hello. Of course, I was very respectful. It's Jane Fonda.
Sexual fantasy of yours?
No.
No? I would
No.
have thought for sure.
No.
She's so your type.
No, Jane Fonda's not my type. She's
Back in the day?
No, not really. I mean, I love her, and I think she's beautiful. But
Right.
there's certain people with the energy.
Oh.
Jane's got like a coolness to her, but like also like a fragility. That
God.
sometimes like that's a lot of responsibility.
I
She's a
thought that-
wonderful person. She's got her shit together. Of course, she always has. She's brilliant.
I think so.
She's really and she's really stayed true to her.
I know she gets a lot of shit for the Hanoi Jane thing, but
listen, you know
what?
I
With the Vietnam War, I still think back to the Vietnam War,
so
all the guys who died.
Right.
She was right on.
She was right on.
She was anything to end that war.
She probably knew in a few years we'd be building hotels there.
Thank
Why
you.
are we bombing?
Excuse me. Now you put on a cute T-shirt, made in Vietnam.
Right.
I mean, we couldn't have made that happen back then.
Yeah.
We had to go and
what
destroy.
the hell were we doing?
I don't know. What are we ever doing?
And answer this also.
Yeah.
Gary told me a weird story he heard about you. That years ago you went to a Cat Stevens concert with a friend.
Yeah.
You got separated from the friend at the concert and never heard from that friend again.
Really?
Yes, that was.
How can you live with that? I mean, how do you not follow up with that?
Well, the whole school, that involved my whole high school. She just, we don't know what happened to her.
No one knows what happened to her?
No.
You mean she
to this
disappeared?
day, she literally disappeared.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, my. Oh, I thought it was a friend of yours, and you just never bothered to call her.
No, we were friends. No, I mean.
Do you think she died?
Well, apparently we don't. To this day, we don't know if she just decided to drop out.
Did the police come and
the police
investigate
came
you?
to the school. Sure, everybody.
And they questioned you. Did you see anything? And you never saw anything.
No, I mean we thought because she was such a hippie.
Yeah.
We thought that she went out and hooked up
joined
with
something.
The Indian reservation. She was always talking about dropping out, and who knows? Maybe she did.
God, everything about your life is so intense.
Yeah.
I mean, you've had a lot of experiences. Don't you think you've had an abnormal amount of experiences like that?
Well, but you need that, as a performer to draw, and otherwise life gets boring.
Your celebrity crush is Pippa Middleton.
Really?
You said that, this is a quote from you, her ass looks like two peaches.
That's what I talk about in the show. I do a whole piece about how she really upstaged her sister at the wedding.
Right.
How
but
she
you're very excited by this, yes? That's not some. I mean, when you say a woman's ass is like two peaches, that's like the biggest compliment from you.
Once again, am I going to pursue Pippa at this point in my life?
No, I'm not saying. I mean, but you have a celebrity crush.
I like Pippa because she is confident. Because she is a commoner.
Right.
And she's, and her sister and her have been welcomed into the bosom. Listen, the royalty have had to lower their standards
because of those two.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't really mean that literally, but they had their certain way of connecting people that had to have that royal strain, but then it becomes
look, if they
inbreeding.
go too far in that family, they find a stripper.
Thank you.
So
exactly, Robin.
Only you have these kind of thoughts about it. I never even think about stuff like this.
I'm an observer, Howard. You know that when we discuss people, I take in the nuances.
You don't have a celebrity crush like my wife thinks Gwyneth Paltrow is the most physically beautiful woman and just thinks everything about her is fascinating. And I say to her,
why would Beth even bother? Beth is amazing.
But she just admires.
Beth is athletic and
but she admires Gwyneth Paltrow.
Well, that's sweet. I mean, Gwyneth is she's somebody who really works at it.
Is that someone Beth shouldn't admire?
I wouldn't say not to admire her. I mean,
you know her?
I know Gwyneth a little bit. We've never hung out per se, but she's very into macrobiotic cooking, and she has her.
She doesn't turn you
blog.
on?
No, not in the least.
You don't see her that way.
No. I don't find Gwyneth sexual. I find her very asexual.
Who do you find hot? Hillary Clinton? I mean, I'm having a hard read on you. Who is the hottest woman right now in show business sexually? Michelle Obama? Who is it?
I admire and adore her.
Yeah, but she didn't turn you on.
Oh, I think.
Go ahead.
Oh God, I'm totally blanking on
If I
her
gave
name.
you a free pass, your wife would not be upset with you. Lindsay Lohan?
No, God, no. Brad Pitt's wife. What's her name?
Angelina Jolie.
Angelina Jolie is
really?
hands
Still?
down. Well, I wish she'd gain a little weight.
Right. She's getting too thin.
She's too skinny.
And
but when she has the right amount of weight on her, I find her to be the most. She's sexy.
You could never be attracted to a woman who looked like Oprah, could you?
No, I mean, I might want to rest my head on her bosom and cry.
Right.
But
she doesn't do it for you. Angelina Jolie.
Angelina Jolie is definitely
right.
she is of the moment.
How is your relationship going? Are you
great?
Everything is good.
Everything's great.
Great.
Well, we work through things. It's an ongoing. It's a work in progress, as I'm sure it is with you and
What does
Beth.
you mean work through things? Like, what's something you work through? Help me out with this.
Listen.
Because I'm not working through anything.
Oh, stop it.
That is ridiculous. I know that you work on your relationship with Beth.
No, but I
That's
mean,
not something-
I don't know what that means, working through something. What am I supposed to be working through?
Sometimes you're bored. Sometimes you're restless. Sometimes.
Do you admit that to your spouse? That you're...
But not in those. It's not like you're bored with yourself. You
Right.
want things to happen. Career. Things become like. You
mean you get weighed down with your own stuff?
Yes, and therefore you get bitchy and you don't focus. Sarah likes a certain amount of focus, and everybody
And
does.
sometimes you don't. Sometimes you
I'm
take
a
her for
Gemini
granted.
too, and I'm like, no, I don't take her. I never take her for granted. But there are times when when I'm sort of like spaced out and doing my thing, or I'm being in the process of creating, or I'm on the road and I come home and I'm exhausted. It's like.
And then she says to you, Sandra, you're not being good to me.
No, she just say, I would like a little more focus and
that's where the work
undivided attention.
And that's where you have to work on something.
I just have to work on that in general. I'm not a laser focused person on people. Even with my daughter, sometimes I have to like slow down because I'm. Not only do I have my career, I do things around the house. I'm the one who does the laundry, and I'm the one who washes the dishes because I like to do that.
Right.
But I'm also like a spinner. I don't like sitting around. It's not my thing.
See, I have that problem.
I know.
Because I have a lot of interests.
Exactly.
And I'm not focused on everybody.
People get hurt.
So
People
how do I
feel-
work through that? I have to consciously...
You have to remember that there are other people there.
Well, how am I going to do that? Write it down?
Yes. Put it
You
in
have
your
to kind of like pull
calendar.
yourself back every couple
Yeah.
of days and go, "Hey Beth, what's happening?" You do that with Beth.
I do that. So that's what you mean by work. So that's what you mean by working through
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean it's not some deep like emotional.
Oh, no, you're
trauma.
teaching me. Because I don't know what that means, working through stuff. But you're right. Then I guess I do.
Refocusing.
Right. I have to refocus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we all do in relationships. You do sort of take people for granted when they're there 24/7.
Anybody cheating on anyone?
Oh no, there's no room in our life for cheating.
General Petraeus, should he have resigned?
I don't understand what the big stink is. I mean,
Me neither.
What about that wife?
What about her?
I mean, Holly Petraeus. I mean, God bless her. A little haircut.
Something.
Something.
Lipstick.
I mean, can you blame?
I was trying to think, what era is that from? What is she doing?
I mean, you see this lineup. It was in the paper yesterday of all these, like, I don't even know who these people were, but like these sexy broads in leather and their husbands. And then there's Holly Petraeus at the end with this amorphous haircut.
I was like, is she Amish? What's going on?
But they had a picture of her. They had a picture of her in the paper when she was young and he married her. And she was cute.
Well, I could see that.
So does a person have a right, in a not a right to cheat, but does a person sort of, do you get when they lose interest because it's not what they paid for?
Okay, listen, let's back
Right.
up.
Yeah.
I mean, Petraeus himself with those
There's
teeth.
no beauty.
I mean, I couldn't believe he got that chick to begin with.
Well, it's
but there's
power.
Power.
Women like powerful men.
CIA. Then I thought, this is a good Homeland sort of vibe.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Not
Absolutely.
as sexy as Homeland.
Right.
But still, the idea.
But look, he's no prize.
No, he certainly
physically,
isn't.
But he's in shape and he's got a powerful position.
And he's wearing the CIA garb, and he was at the front lines.
All right,
and
yeah. It's
the
attractive.
desert, storms and.
So why, like in France, if a guy cheats, it's like, so what? We've had presidents who've all cheated.
But I think this is, we're very provincial in this country.
We are. Sex is our one thing.
It's our.
It drives us.
Like in other countries, they go, "Oh, the guy had sex, and you want to fire him?"
I know.
Like,
what?
what?
That elevates them. That's a celebration.
Well, there is a too far, when you get to Strauss-Kahn and Berlusconi, there is a little too far you can go in
These
Europe.
are child
Sandra,
abusers.
Are you
no
saying?
kidding.
Are you saying that if your wife started looking like Holly Petraeus, you would probably?
If
and
my
I've
wife
met
was
your
Holly Petraeus, she would kill herself. She wouldn't allow that to happen.
Right. I mean, I've met your wife.
Yes.
She is hot.
She's
very,
gorgeous.
She really is. Very beautiful woman.
Very smart
I have
person.
photographed your wife.
You have photographed us. I don't ever like to talk about what we do in our private moments
Intimacy.
with you.
Yes.
But our photo session with you was possibly one of the sexiest experiences of my life.
Very loving.
Really?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Howard directed us, Robin, in a way that was, like took it to some other place.
It's more like yelling than directing. I just go, would you two kiss each other.
No, but it's like a lot of bending backwards,
posing,
a lot of acrobatic.
Well, the pictures came out nice.
Soleil poses.
I had Sandra upside down.
Haven't you been photographed by the great Howard Stern?
She does not pose for me.
I'm holding out. Everybody else can get photographed first. I want to see what he does.
He's very.
She doesn't want to be nude.
Believe me.
Take your clothes off, Robin, and let's get going.
Very beautiful pictures. Very sexy.
But if your wife got the Holly Petraeus kind of homely syndrome, she caught that disease.
That would be done.
But isn't that wrong as a feminist? Isn't that that we fight against stuff like that, looks and all this?
I think there's also a certain commitment in a relationship to keep things hot and interesting.
Yeah, Beth told me she'd leave me if I got fat.
Well, there you go.
And I took that as a sign that I better...
warning.
A warning, yeah.
You know?
Right.
But there's a certain level of self-worth that you have to keep up, and it has nothing to do with feminism. You have to take care of yourself.
So you're saying that Holly Petraeus is at fault also because she's kind of let it...
I'm sure she let it go,
right.
You know?
Yeah.
She probably got in bed at night and rubbed
when
her
that
feet
happens,
with some sort of a liniment.
Right.
But
That's not
when
sexy.
that happens in a relationship, she's saying something too.
That's right.
It's true. Could Holly make herself hot?
From what I've seen,
it's beyond that.
I think it's beyond.
It's hopeless.
Look, I'll tell you one thing. Once she dumps him, she's going to slim down, get that hair colored.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see, Robin. I think we should track the Holly Petraeus evolution.
Would you ever consider doing a show where you make over Holly Petraeus, like a one-shot?
That would be genius.
It would be great, right? We'd get her on the treadmill, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like The Biggest Loser kind of.
That would be fun.
Listen, darling.
Yes,
you
baby.
are special. I'm happy you're now back on television.
Me too.
The world rejoices that Sandra
Thank you.
Bernhard is going to be on DTLA, which stands for
Downtown LA.
Downtown LA. When you go on stage, nude, essentially.
Yeah.
Do you worry about now, because your daughter's getting older, that you can't do that kind of thing, or is that just not part of the equation? You'll do whatever it takes.
My daughter has her own life. She's very disinterested in me. She likes Lana Del Rey. That singer.
She's cute, though, Lana Del Rey.
Well, no, I'm saying I like Lana Del Rey, too.
Right.
But my daughter has her own taste.
But Lana Del Rey's not a fun singer to watch, right? She's not great.
But my daughter listens to her incessantly.
Really?
We bought our daughter a little turntable, so she has some vinyl, so she listens to it on vinyl.
Why would you do
that? And I hear
that?
the whining from the other room, because she wanted it.
She wanted vinyl?
She loves vinyl.
No kidding.
The kids
That's very
love vinyl.
sophisticated. They do?
Yeah. It's back again, because they like that texture and that sound.
They don't want the iPod with the...
Well, she has that too, believe me. She has all the different,
And she's into Lana Del Rey.
Yeah.
That seems very sophisticated.
She's very sophisticated, but not precocious.
And wait, so she doesn't say, "Hey, I want to go watch my mom perform." She's not...
No, she's been on the road with me, but she likes to be backstage. She sets up my merchandise table. She helps sell the merchandise.
So she stands there at the table and sells stuff.
Yeah.
And what merchandise do you have? T-shirts?
T-shirts, CDs.
Sandra Bernhard T-shirt?
Yeah, very sophisticated, groovy T-shirt. I should have brought you one.
T-shirts and what? CDs and
CDs, DVDs.
Organic vegetables, anything. I mean,
eggs, farm to table.
That's like a new thing. Like comedians all have a table.
Well, you've got to. I mean, you make your extra cash.
Can you make some good money doing that?
Sure.
And she knows how to give the change.
Oh,
you know?
yeah, honey.
Yeah.
She
That's the first
hangles. And then I gave her 10% of the sales. She goes, "Wait a minute, that's a little cheap."
Right. She's doing all the sales.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's very savvy.
Wow.
I know, it's amazing.
Do you ever fantasize about your daughter becoming friends with Lourdes, the daughter of Madonna?
She's observed Lourdes at holidays.
She has.
Yeah.
Does your daughter want to be friends with Lourdes? Because
no.
Wouldn't that be exciting to have a celebrity friend?
I don't think she cares. I mean, she's
right.
Just, she has
her own thing.
She has her own friends. Believe me, these kids have their own thing going on.
If your daughter became friends with Lourdes,
well, it could happen,
and then got you and Madonna back together.
Or they just went off and did their own thing and looked at both of us and went, "Oh, those two are a bummer."
Right.
You know.
They should at least follow each other on Twitter. Lourdes.
Who knows what they do?
All right.
I can't. I just stay out of it.
See Sandra Bernhard on DTLA. For more information, go to sandrabernhard.com.
Yep. New pictures up on the website.
Oh yeah, you redid it.
I got fabulous new pictures. by this fabulous photographer.
What are you doing in these pictures?
Just they're upbeat, they're jaunty, they're fun.
Right. You decided to do a rehaul of your whole
it was
image.
it was time to do a refreshing. I reinvented myself, Howard.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I found myself to be more enchanting than I ever dreamed.
Well, I find you
possible.
enchanting. Yes, Balls. Go ahead for Sandra.
Hey now.
Hey now.
Hey now, Howard.
Hey now.
I just want to ask Sandra, have you ever tried to get intimate with a woman and found that her vagina stunk? And how do you handle that embarrassing
Of course
situation?
she has. Who hasn't?
You kind of know that ahead of time as a girl. You know about somebody's hygiene.
What do you
honey.
mean? You can tell?
That isn't something that sort of creeps up. A guy like you might find somebody who's been sitting at the bar for a week. Yeah, there's a chance that they're.
I got to tell you, like Balls, I'm always desperate, so I don't. Sometimes I have to overlook that kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care if I have a smelly bird.
Right.
Well, good for you. You know what? I like your style.
He's no General Petraeus. He'll take anybody. All right, thank you, Balls. General Balls, thank
General
you.
Balls.
Thanks. That's right. I finally got the recognition I deserve.
Are you saying you can tell? See why you want your daughter to be a lesbian? I want her with a guy.
But some of the new breed of young guys, they're a little
A
different.
little more hip.
Well, they're sweeter. They have they're a little more balanced. The feminine and the feminine and the masculine.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
But believe me, she won't accept anything less than the best of my kid.
Good.
I won't let her.
No, you've trained her well. SandraBernhard.com. Go on and see what Sandra is talking about. This whole new image of hers on this website.
You can follow me on Facebook and Twitter as well.
Yes.
As you know.
At Sandra Bernhard.
Yeah, but I haven't seen you much on Twitter.
I don't know.
It's exhausting.
Now you spend like 20 minutes a day, at least 20 minutes a day, answering your fans on Twitter.
Yeah, I definitely.
Now, what do you mean? What do you do? Because I got news for you. I'm exhausted from it. There's a lot of negativity toward me.
There is a lot of negativity,
and it gets me.
It's exhausting. But I block those people.
What is the worst thing people say? Someone said the other day, "I hope you and your parents and Beth die."
That's nice.
I mean, that's as low as it gets. Yeah,
horrible.
Like, what did I do to you?
Fuck you. Like, beat it.
What do people say to you?
Oh, it's more or less you liberal bitch. That kind of shit. It's like, oh wow,
ouch,
liberal. Ooh, you hurt me. Yeah, no shit.
Do you get caught up in how many followers you have? Is it you compare to the other celebrities?
No.
How the hell?
Who's got time for that?
You don't care.
No, I've got my core people. I know who it reaches. Right. I know that they'll know where I am in terms of my career, and that's.
And what do? You answer them personally?
If there's somebody who's really cute and says something, that I connect with.
Like what? Like what's something that you connect
like, oh
with?
God, it's my birthday, Sandy. Give me a shout out. I saw you back in the day.
And what
love
do? You say, oh, shout out?
I'll say, happy birthday, baby. I love you. Just make them feel special.
Really? Oh, that's it.
Yeah, and we don't get into some I have a couple of people that I've become friendly with. But you
mean fans?
Yeah, like there's this guy in Flint, Michigan.
You like him?
Yeah, and he's done this animated thing based on his autistic son.
Right.
So like I'm helping him out. I helped him out with Kickstarter, raising money to finance.
So you
it.
really get involved with the fans.
If it's somebody who has the goods,
you catch a vibe.
That's 1 out of a million.
Okay.
All
right.
That's not a everyday situation.
I love hearing what you're up to. For some reason, well,
we need a major catch up. We need a dinner or something.
Yeah.
This is not good.
We'll do it.
We miss you.
That's right.
Sarah and I miss you and Beth.
You have 200,000 followers. Kathy Griffin has 1,600,000. Does that hurt you? Beyond.
No.
What? Does that hurt you?
It does not hurt me. First of all, Kathy Griffin, God bless her, does something that's very, accessible in a way. And she sort of took my sensibility, made it a little more accessible. I don't have a beef with Kathy. She's... What the hell do I care?
But you don't secretly sit there and go, I want 1 million followers.
You know what? I'll get 1 million followers when something, when I do that splashy thing.
When something blows up.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All
right. Listen, baby. Giving you lots of love.
I love you more.
I love you too.
I love you.
It's good always having a chat with you.
And we needed a good catch up.
We sure did. I'm happy to hear that you're doing well.
Thank you, honey.
I learned a lot. I learned that you ran into Madonna.
Yeah.
That thing, you got blown off?
No, she didn't blow me off.
You got blown off.
I'm in such a different place now. It doesn't even faze me.
Who cares, right?
At this point, with the world falling apart, with Hurricane Sandy, with people losing their homes, people wandering like zombies in the night with nothing.
Right. It's awful.
And I have an incredible life. I'm a blessed life. Wonderful friends like you.
Did you lose power?
We lost power, but
now you're all right.
Yeah, we got our life. We got everything we need.
Sarah Silverman has 3.5 million followers.
She has a real savvy on the internet. She's that generation. She really tapped into it, and she has a lot. She
gets it.
She has a lot of videos and stuff, and she's smart and savvy.
Okay, all right. Just trying to get something going here.
Why are you trying to upset her?
I don't know.
You're talking about the negativity on Twitter.
I don't know. I just want to know.
And then you try to upset her.
It doesn't. It's not upsetting me. I honestly, every person who follows me on Twitter, I've earned that.
When's the last time you had sex with your wife? Because you seem very satisfied today. Like you're really there's no rattling you.
It's more on a regular schedule.
True.
Yeah, you got to be. Otherwise, everything falls apart.
2 times
you
a week?
Make time.
Be honest with me. Don't give me any bullshit, because you guys have been together a long time.
2 or 3.
Really? That much?
Yeah.
Good for you.
Absolutely.
Look at that.
It's hot. You got to get it going, and also it's a release when you're working on your career and you're pent up and you're both frustrated. It's like, what other way can you really let it go?
Will you guys do each other on your periods?
No.
That's verboten.
Well, we have nice sheets.
No, but I'm saying that's verboten.
That's gross.
Is it?
I think. Maybe it's a little different if you're just putting it in.
I don't care. I'll put it into anything. I don't care what's doing.
Well, I know,
I don't care if you've got a mouse trap in there. I'll put it in. I'll take my chances.
No wonder it's shrunken.
Oh, it's been clipped. Oh. You would not strap on with a period?
I've never strapped on, ever.
Ever?
No.
I'm shocked to hear that.
That is so not my thing.
I wonder what your thing is. You got to let me watch.
I like the mushy, sexy, make out.
Fisting?
No, fisting?
Oh. Yeah. I don't know.
I'm sorry.
What do I know what you're
doing? Somebody's got a thing that big that a fist will go in. That's not for mama.
That's not hot.
That's so not hot. That means they've had 5 kids or something.
You like 69ing?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. On a period, that's gross.
No, that's disgusting. Ugh.
Would you eat a woman's butt?
No. That is not fresh.
Ass eating. That's not about.
That's not
why
for
are so people into that?
That's not for a Jew.
Right.
That's not kosher.
That's like pork.
It is. It's like a piece of raw pork.
Ugh. But you've had your ass eaten. I never have.
No, I have
you
not.
Haven't? It would gross you out, right?
Yeah, I don't like any. That's like.
No one ever tried that with you? In all your years of experience? Because, women
people
do
try things.
Yeah. And you're like, oh. You're very vocal.
I jump up out of bed and go, this is where I draw the line, and I leave.
Ever pee on anyone? Would that excite you?
No. Pish off.
So what are you doing then?
Well, do you have to go to those extents?
69ing, and fingering. That's it. That's the repertoire. Right?
If that doesn't work, if you can't make it work with that, then get out of the business.
Right. You have no business being in bed with anyone.
You have no business being in that business.
God bless you. I really never knew what the hell you were doing in the bedroom.
It's so weird. You've been there so many times and you were so stoned you didn't even notice.
I know. I watched 1,000,000 times. Would you ever call each other mommy?
Baby.
Baby.
Mommy baby.
Mommy baby. It's fabulous. You're so inventive. I could imagine.
Granny.
Do you role play?
Sometimes we do, but we play like 2 hookers or something.
Really?
Yeah.
I could see
like
you
2 dumb hookers.
2 dumb hookers would be.
Who've met up at some like at the Hustler Club.
You got to tape that so I can see it.
That's hot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you play dumb. Yeah,
How do you do
2
that?
girls from Florida, like the Panhandle in Florida.
See, that's why it's fun to be with you, because you're playing these games.
That's when it gets sexy.
Let me hear you
Hi.
well, that's your voice. What you put on? Hi.
I'm so glad to meet you. I'm so lonely. Come by and hang out with me. Okay, I'll be right over.
I love your shoes.
Yeah, I love your shoes. I love your sparkly spiked heels.
And then things happen.
And then you go from there.
Isn't that fabulous?
And then you have imagine how those two stupid people would have sex
Do you
together.
guys put on outfits as stupid hookers?
Yeah.
You do? Like you go, hey, I'm going to go in my room.
You put on stupid, sexy lingerie.
And you go, hi.
You know, a little Victoria's Secret, something that might give you some sort of a rash.
yeah. Just no natural fibers.
Exactly. And then you
Right.
quickly take it off and dispose of it because it might suddenly just catch on fire.
Yeah.
In your bedroom and leave like a singed mark on your nice rug.
I could picture you like going off like for 10 minutes, getting into your slutty outfit.
Yeah.
See, that's fun.
And then you put on some sexy, stupid music and you dance a little bit with a cocktail. And
Sloppy.
spill a little bit. Maybe slip and almost fall. And then she picks you back up and throws you back on the bed and you laugh.
And then like you act like you're not even into girls at first. Like
Exactly.
might touch your titty.
Uh-huh.
And then like, I kind of like that.
That's hot.
Yeah.
That's sexy.
Oh, I love this. How
Yeah.
often do you play that?
First was everybody has to be out of the house.
Yeah, and it's got to be exhausting.
You got to be away somewhere.
Right.
And you got to like that. It's like writing a scene. I mean, it's not like I'm going to write some crappy scene.
You going away on vacation at all?
We're supposed to go to Chicago together because I have a gig there, and I love Chicago. So I find
You
Chicago
mean you
very
vacation
sexy.
in Chicago?
Well, I've got a gig there, so she'll go with me to Chicago, but we'll stay at a nice hotel.
What do you do in Chicago that's so great?
Well, I'm just up and performing there, but
I mean, what do you like about it?
Chicago to me is like the connection to
The Midwest.
the mothership of Playboy. That's where it all started. So like Hugh Hefner, like the whole idea is like
That's where you.
it's like
That's
that.
where you go.
It's like reminiscent of like the '60s when sex was like crazy and kooky and nobody talked about it in public. But it was.
That's not where you
much
go on
hot-
vacation. You're
no,
working.
but I happen to be going there, and there's nothing sexier than doing a great
Where's the
gig
best place to go on
in
vacation?
Chicago. I like Paris.
Paris.
Turks and Caicos.
Really? There's a lot of ants there. I went once.
To Turks and Caicos.
I hate it. I left. I packed my friggin' bag.
Where were you on the?
I stayed in a private home they rented me there, and I was covered. I lay down. I'm covered in
Are
ants.
you serious?
I said goodbye. Then they start gassing the ants with me in there.
Oh,
I mean,
no.
Oh, boy.
It must have been a weird time of year.
Yeah.
I like to go to Morocco.
No kidding.
Morocco is very sexy.
Sounds like it's too far away from me.
You would not like Morocco,
you don't
Howard.
like to go too
Believe
far,
me,
do
you couldn't handle Morocco.
I don't want Morocco.
Robin, he couldn't. He
He
couldn't.
No, I
he
don't
can't
like it.
handle the strange and different. He
All right.
can't handle Paris.
Oh, horrible
Really?
people. I don't know if I could handle that.
Doesn't Beth like to get away to these places?
Not if you're married to me, because I can eat your kishkas out if I go on vacation with you. I will make you so miserable.
He says he's going away for this holiday. The last time they lasted 4 days.
Where are you going?
I don't want to talk about it because,
Did she plan it?
yes,
Okay. Well, tell me some other time
I'll talk to you about it.
after the fact.
Yeah.
But
I hate going away.
that's so fun. But you have such beautiful places.
Yeah, I like to just stay home and see Beth. And
It's a staycation
That's
for
right.
you.
Right. Thank you.
That's all he wants.
That's all.
I understand. I get it.
In Chicago, I don't know. I never vacationed there before. Okay, look, we've spent way too long.
He
I
doesn't
don't think
even
we
see
have.
the rest of the states. He's a mess.
See, yeah.
Robin, we got to get him out there into the
it's
world.
terrible.
You watch Honey
What's
Boo Boo?
going on with him?
I watch Honey Boo Boo, like just the little clips online.
Right.
She is adorable.
You don't think it's child abuse in some weird way? Like the kid can't even speak English.
Listen, we've
Yeah.
gone around the bend in this country.
Go ahead. What are you
We've
saying?
gone too far. We're so far gone. The ice truckers and the moonshiners and the rest of the people.
Right, they're doing all
the
kinds of craziness
miscreants.
now.
Yeah, but don't you? I mean, how does a kid like that and her mother graduate high school if they can't speak English?
Listen, this is the bulk of this country.
Is it? I mean,
Yeah,
is it that
it
bad?
is. It's that bad.
We're doomed.
These are the people that don't. I'm not saying Honey Boo Boo happens to be a liberal. These people don't want
Yes,
health. They don't want health care.
Right.
They don't want an infrastructure in the government. They don't want education.
Right.
And I keep saying, take them all down to the south, cordon the shit off,
And call it a separate
and
country.
and let them live the way they want to live.
But they want it when they need it, Sandra.
Robin, this is the issue.
Right.
When they're half dead and their brains are hanging out of their ears.
Then they
suddenly
want
go,
government.
wait, come and help me.
Right.
But
Right.
it's like, and I don't.
But we don't want any help when we don't need any help.
You're not going to solve all the problems.
No,
right
we're
now.
not. We're not.
That's right. For more information, go to sandrabernhard.com. We'll be back.
Thank you for keeping some beauty in the world.
Yeah, thank you.
Takes one to know one.
Classy woman, you are.
Love you guys.
I love you too. All right, we'll be back right after these words.
Hi, honey. How are you? Good. What's wrong? Yeah.
The end of that interview turned so erotic so quickly.
Well, Howard brings that out in me.
Well, it was 1 minute it was Twitter, and then next it was peeing and butt licking and.
Well, you know what? What would you rather talk about?
That's true. I am.
Do we really want to talk about Twitter?
No, I was saying to myself, when are they going to get to the butt licking part?
Yeah, exactly.
And you did, and you delivered.
And we always get there when we need to, at just the right moment. Just like in the actual sex act, you always get there at just the right moment.
Exactly, very appropriate. But he loved. I mean, you guys go way back.
Yeah, we do.
You've been to temple together. You've studied the Torah together.
Yeah, the Talmud.
He likes to imagine what you're like in the bedroom. He wants that glimpse. Do you ever, conversely wonder what he's doing in the bedroom, what he's like as a lover?
I can only imagine, because he projects so much of his sexuality, and I know that he's an incredible lover.
Really?
And knowing Beth, I know that she wouldn't accept anything less.
Do you think he's gentle, or do you think he's erotic and perverted and...
I think he's all of the above.
He's versatile.
He's very versatile, which is what we're all looking for.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sandra. Another great appearance.
Honey. Thank you.
Why don't we get back to that game we were playing yesterday, where the
that
staff...
was great. Yeah,
the
we
staff,
got one revelation, and you bailed.
Well, no, we actually ran out of time. I didn't
Did
bail.
we?
I want to show you.
Stayed longer.
I want to show you what a man I am
Okay.
by listening to all of the criticism about me. This game was called. Hey, Gary, what page is the game on? Howard page of some kind?
It's called the Harmonizer game.
Okay. Why would we call it that?
Because they altered everyone's voice.
No. Well, why don't we call it How Annoying is Howard game? All right. Who cares?
That would be a better title.
It would be. All right, so the staff did this in Harmonizer because no one wanted to get in trouble. I assure you, everyone has amnesty.
Everybody's a little pissed off about this because it was told to them by Sal that nobody would be revealed.
Never would they be revealed?
And by the way, it was also told to them by Sal that anything they said when they weren't on mic wouldn't be told, and then he ran in yesterday and said how John Lieberman said horrible things about Lisa.
Well, you know what? Why would anyone listen to Sal?
Exactly.
That's their fault.
Does Sal ever know?
Sal doesn't know anything that's going on, trust me.
So you're up to number 4.
What annoys me most about Howard, I guess, would be when he feels that all back pain is in your head when it's not.
That's Scott the engineer.
No.
I'm saying that's Scott the Pace.
Yeah, is it?
Fred is correct.
Let me say something to Scott
Can I
the
just
Pace.
say-
And I want to say something to my audience. I don't claim to know everything. I don't know a lot. The biggest reveal, the biggest revelation in my life was a guy named Dr. John Sarno, who is now retired, unfortunately.
Is he? I didn't know that.
I hope the planet never loses this man. I hope he lives to 1,000 years old, because this guy, one day the world's going to wake up. He's going to be long gone, and he is going to be held up in such high regard. If you do yourself one favor in life, read his books, Healing Back Pain and The Mind-Body Connection. I don't care how annoying I am saying it for your health. I can't tell you what this man has done for me.
Well, I think that you should ignore Scott DePace.
You must understand that Scott DePace knows nothing. He's an unenlightened... Okay.
He's not alone, by the way.
I don't care. I'm telling my audience, listen to me carefully. The medical community is very, very ensconced in the back pain business. It is a multi-billion-dollar business. If everyone approached back pain the way Dr. John Sarno does, you wouldn't need pills, you wouldn't need operations. Now, is some back pain legitimate? All back pain is legitimate. I'm not saying it's not real. I'm telling you the cause. What we think is causing it is something other than what we've been led to believe. Now, look, I don't want to give you a long lecture on things. You know what? I'm tired of lecturing. I'm telling you this because...
Let them take their pills and have their...
Do whatever you want. But it kills me personally when I see, especially a loved one, going in for an operation that I know is totally unnecessary and also risky. And after the operation, you might really have some problems. Scott DePace is not a dumb guy. He's proven that with the IQ test. But he's also not an enlightened guy. I'm not saying...
You think IQ doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't really. Not based on what I can see from Scott.
Good, then you two take the test.
Yeah. No, believe me, I know my IQ's not high, but I'll tell you what. This I do know about. And I am telling you, Scott, please don't come in. I didn't invite you in.
Could I just say one thing?
Yeah, it's fine. I'm doing this for my audience. I don't care. Go get an operation with your back pain or whatever it is you need.
All right.
Honestly, what do you want to say?
All I just want to say is I think there is something to what you're saying.
Okay.
It's just
all right,
not
good,
all.
Good. Okay.
And I have
right.
friends who've
There are
had back surgeries, and now they're better.
And they will get worse. Trust me. You'll see it. It's a placebo, and it's a very good placebo. But the back pain will return.
But do you think all back pain is that?
There are
if
certain
somebody takes
conditions,
a club and hits you in the back, no, your back pain is from the club.
There are certain conditions that you would have to be examined by a doctor that would lead to back pain that would be something other than what I'm talking about.
Right.
It's very rare.
So you're saying most, huh?
Yeah, I'm saying 99% of back pain.
The general back pain that nobody can diagnose anything else about.
And they tell you it's a slip disc or this or that. Now, look, I don't want to get into a long explanation. That's not what I came here for. My audience isn't here. They're here to laugh. Now, you listen to me about Dr. Sarno, and don't listen to a closed-minded guy.
Yeah, because what they get irritated about is they never, ever investigate.
No. It's just this feeling that they're right.
Right.
Howard, can I tell you something?
I went through an exhaustive investigation of this stuff. Trust me. And if you think I know anything, and believe me, I do know lots of stuff. You saw that magic trick yesterday. Go ahead.
I was playing the game in my office, just listening to it, to make sure everything was right. And somebody walked in when I played that one, and they go, "Fuck, that was my complaint."
Well, first of all, Scott DePace was the original complainant
That's true.
on that. Yes, Neil.
Hey, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Howard, I just wanted to tell you, about 10 years ago, I took your suggestion, and I read The Mind-Body Prescription by Dr. John Sarno. And I was in a long depression, 25 years worth. And I just wanted to thank you, because reading that book started me on my journey to get out of depression and off the drugs. And his latest book, I think, is called The Divided Mind. I read that one as well.
Fabulous.
But Dr. Sarno is a genius.
Right. Yeah.
And
yes.
that's why Scott DePace can't relate.
And you know what? My biggest sadness, not my biggest sadness, I have many, but one of my sadnesses is that this guy is not being recognized. This guy should be getting the Nobel Prize. That's how important he is to modern medicine.
Oh, I agree.
But they won't give it to him because, believe me, there are too many people against him. And that's all I'm going to say on the topic. You want to take my advice, take it. Or you want to go with Scott DePace back in the cave, go ahead. Yes, Gary.
See, this is where people get mad because they said there would be no repercussions.
There is none. What? He didn't lose his job. I like the guy. But he's dopey. He says dopey things.
Nice. I am not.
No, you are. You don't know anything about it. You just make opinions.
I just don't believe in conspiracies like that. The whole medical community is somehow out there.
Well, you believe in a lot of conspiracies.
You can believe this one. They don't want to accept it. If you trained 8 years in medical school And that, you know, it was college, then medical school, and then you went and you did internships and everything, and your expertise is in back pain, and suddenly everything you learned was worthless. How would you feel? You've got to protect that. Oh, come on, buddy. Get off my back. I told you I don't want to discuss it. Either you buy into it or you don't. Good. Who's the next genius in this game?
Number 5.
All right.
The thing that annoys me most about Howard is his hair. I'm very jealous of his hair.
Well, that's
Scott DePay. No, Scott DePay's or Scott the engineer.
Listen, that's actually very lovely. I would be jealous of my hair, too. I'm very lucky. I don't have to dye my hair. Thank God. I don't know that I want to go gray and sit there. It's, you know, so feminine to sit in a beauty parlor and get your hair colored.
You don't have any gray shit going on at all?
I have gray.
I don't see it, though.
Oh, it's here. If you came up close, you'd see it. But I have gray. But not a lot. I'm 58 years old, and I've got colorful hair and pubes. And
I don't want to see it up close.
I'll show you that. I'll show Robin. But look, I'm lucky that way. Who's jealous of my hair?
Scott the engineer.
Yeah, okay.
I'd say Benji.
Well, it's Scott the engineer.
It's Scott the engineer, Fred. When Gary says it, it's...
You asked me and I answered.
You're right. But Fred's still playing.
I'm still playing.
He doesn't believe
Take
it.
that answer back.
No, Gary, it's Benji.
Fred's going to catch on soon. All right, let's play another
I'm a
one.
little slow.
Number 6.
The thing that annoys me most about Howard is that at any given moment when you talk to him, whatever he thinks at that particular moment is correct and right, and there's no other way to do it. He's, of course, changed his mind many times over the years, but whenever you get him at that moment, he is always right.
I'm not sure I understand
Jason.
it.
When you know something, you know it, and you may change later on.
Right.
But when you will argue anyone down,
Listen.
and they're ridiculous because they don't know it the way you do.
Well, that is true.
Who do you think that was?
Jason.
You're correct.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I thought
because
it was
first of all, Jason is verbose, and he's even verbose in his harmonizer game. But he happens to be right. He's not off base with that. I'll take that and accept it. To paces, I won't, because he doesn't know anything.
Doesn't Jason's apply to what mine was?
No.
No.
You think you're right?
No, because Howard's never wavered on what he thinks. Did you not hear that?
All right, here we go.
The thing that annoys me the most about Howard is his musical taste. I feel like there are a lot of bands out there, great bands, some classic rock, some...
Steve Brandano.
No.
That's Gary.
That he just completely misses the boat on, and they would be fantastic on the show and great interviews.
Oh,
so
Will
I wish
Murray.
Howard had better musical taste.
Oh, Will?
Richard Christie?
No.
Who?
John Hine.
John Hine.
And I think
Better musical taste.
specifically.
What does he mean? Like the White Stripes or
No,
something?
I think he would like to see Rush on this show. You know, Rush is his favorite band.
Rush. Who wants to? You know what?
But I think he means other bands
Who
too.
wants to hear an well, let's hear what these bands are. I'll discuss it with him. Listen. First of all, a lot of bands that everyone goes, "Why don't you have Prince on? Why don't you have the?" I go, "He don't
want to be on."
Yeah, they got to want to be on the show. And Neil Young, I'd love to have on the show.
I'm still working on it.
Sure. I mean, and who knows? It'll probably be horrible. John, who are you referring to beside Rush? I mean, no one wants to hear a Geddy Lee interview.
I disagree with you.
Okay.
Rush is the big one.
Fine. But Rush is not as popular as you may think.
Rush is more gold albums than I think there are only two other bands.
Okay. Geddy Lee, I just don't want to do an interview. Go ahead. Who else?
Steely Dan.
Steely Dan, I'd interview in a minute.
You would?
Absolutely. I'm talking about the two guys.
Yeah, Fagen's up here all the time.
That's all
I would
there
interview
is
him.
to Steely Dan.
Well, Fagen and Becker, but yeah.
I don't think. See, here's something you got to understand. It's not about my musical taste. I like a lot of Steely Dan music. I'm thinking of the broader audience. Now, there's a guy sitting by the radio going, "Oh, yeah, Howard, Steely Dan, John Hines, right on." I've worked in radio a long time, and I've seen reams of radio research. The audiences are so fragmented on what everyone thinks their musical taste is sort of right on. It is so fragmented, you'd be shocked. Now, you're fairly new to radio. I brought you into it. But I've been through the mill with radio research and seeing things about music, and it would blow your mind. We all think we're right about music. It is my general impression, based on the research I've seen and also my gut level feeling, that while some people would like to hear from Steely Dan, I think a lot of people wouldn't.
I bet you there are a lot of people you have up here that you wouldn't want.
Absolutely.
Based on your musical taste.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people I interview because I know people like them. So I'm making the best decision. It's not really my musical taste. I would be interested in discussing some stuff with Steely Dan. Although I happen to know they're very dry, those two guys.
Yeah, I don't think they'd be great to interview.
Yeah.
You wouldn't interview Donald Fagen. If he came up and said he wanted to play, you'd consider it, but you wouldn't interview him.
Yeah, and those guys are uptight about playing. They got the Carly Simon disease. I think they're afraid to play in front of people.
They're better now. Now they play for everyone.
Oh, in other words, they figured out how to play in front of everyone.
Since people stop asking, now they're on the road all the time.
Exactly. Now they got to go out and pay the mortgage. It's funny. You talk about radio and all this stuff. I was thinking about this Rock and Roll Hall of Fame thing that they just put me in. And
Radio Hall of Fame.
Radio Hall of Fame. I wish it was the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I wish there were, Rolling Stone magazine put together the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's generally endorsed by everyone. It seems more legitimate. But this so-called Radio Hall of Fame is a joke. I said it yesterday. I was inducted into the Radio Hall of Fame on Saturday, and I didn't show up. And many people in the industry were critical of me. But they don't know the history. They don't know my history. They don't even know how I feel about radio. One guy wrote, Mike Harrison, Howard, radio's been really good to you. It's time for you to stop having everyone kiss your arse and give back to the industry. And I told you yesterday, I'm sorry, Mike, whoever you are. I don't feel that's the way to give back to the industry. I think, as I said yesterday, donating money to a college where, let's say, kids can't get an education because they can't afford one in communications, that's giving back. Or maybe taking a young student and saying to them, hey, do you have any good ideas? And I'll put them on the radio, encouraging a few people. That's giving back. Going to some guy's home in Chicago and celebrating the Radio Hall of Fame with people I never heard of, from a guy who was putting me down for years and humiliating me, attempting to anyway. I didn't let it stop me. This guy was no friend of mine who started the Radio Hall of Fame. In fact, he was trying to exclude me. 20-some-odd years he's been up to this, and he never thought to include me before. I'm sorry. I don't agree that that's giving back to my industry. I think I've done a lot for the industry, but you don't hear me crowing about it. You just won't. I find it abhorrent.
Yeah, but he wanted you to give back to him because it would give him credibility.
And I don't even know who's in the Radio Hall. Is Lee Abrams in the Radio Hall of Fame?
He would have to be.
I'm asking.
Don't know.
Benji, look it up. You seem to have some expertise in looking things up rapidly. How do you do that? What do you Google his name?
Yeah.
Is he in the Radio Hall of Fame? How could you find that out within 3 seconds?
The Radio Hall of Fame and Lee Abrams.
Howard, he is not.
He's not. Now, you see, that's fucking ridiculous. Now, I don't know who nominates these people, but I think it's this guy, Bruce Dumont, who evidently his family's name is Dumont. Dumont was one of the early manufacturers of radios. I don't think this guy had anything to do with it. He's excited that his name is Dumont. That immediately turns me off. Because you didn't even manufacture a radio. Your family did. As far as I can tell, I don't know much about the guy. Maybe I'm missing something here. But before you castigate, is that the right word? Before you castigate me, check into these things, guys. So-called journalists. Lee Abrams was a guy, when I got into radio, it was a lot of free-form stuff, I could go on and play whatever I wanted. And he figured out how to make top 40, to make album rock top 40, the modern-day album rock format. And I remember when I went to Detroit, it was a Lee Abrams station. And I didn't know much about the guy, except that when you get there, the music was all on cards. It was amazing. It was a card catalog system. He figured out that, while DJs might think they know music, that a lot of people sit at home and don't know what the music really is. That they sit at home and they go, I don't like this radio station. There's too many obscure songs. So he figured out how to put the songs on cards. And he made a rotation, and he did research into what people generally like. And he built a big business out of it. But I went to Detroit, and I never really thought about radio, got inspired by it. It was all sort of all these internal feelings. And he was meeting with the staff, and I was the new morning man there. And I happened to walk in the room. For some reason, I wasn't even invited into the meeting. But Lee was giving a speech. And here was this young guy, full of curly hair, full of energy about radio. And within 10 minutes, I was inspired. I remember sitting in the room was Doc of Rock, Doug Podell, a couple other guys, the program director, the sales manager, and he started to talk about radio and what it could be. He started to break down the audience. He said general patterns. He called some people earth dogs. And I knew what he was talking about. These guys who show up with chains to their wallets, they were earth dogs. And he broke down the audience methodically and said, here's who's in your audience. You need to know this. And then he started to talk about music and musical taste and all these new ways of presenting music. Ways of even introducing new music to an audience that didn't care about it, that he chopped up the songs sometimes and gave them almost a little commercial of the music. He had all kinds of ideas. He was turned on by radio. And I went, wow, I'm inspired. I can't wait to get on the air and really entertain my audience. Now, these are the guys, the unsung heroes. Not that he's unsung. People in the industry know who he is. But Bruce Dumont doesn't know anything. Who is Bruce Dumont? Nephew of Alan Dumont, the founder of the first commercial TV network. But what fucking right does he have to tell Lee Abrams that he shouldn't be in a Radio Hall of Fame? And some people see Lee Abrams as the enemy. Like he ruined radio. He didn't ruin it. Tried to make it better. He had an
actually,
idea.
That became a big business as a result.
Oh, it sure did. I like Lee. I don't know what Lee... I think Lee's now staring at a wall somewhere going, when am I going to get in the Radio Hall of Fame? I assure you, Lee Abrams isn't sitting around worrying about it. Neither am I. We're doers. We're movers and shakers. We're not sitting there fucking waiting for Bruce Dumont, the nephew of Alan Dumont, to tell me whether or not I'm worthy of being in the Radio Hall of Fame. Now, you want to have a real Radio Hall of Fame, you come to me and you say, Howard, we want to make you the president of the Radio Hall of Fame. We want you to run the whole thing and pick a board of directors who will select 4 people every year who should be in the Radio Hall of Fame. And here's the secret. I would say no. You know why? Because nobody gives a shit. Most radio is boring. It's the same crap. It's the same shit over and over again.
Well, that's what I said. Whenever he would announce the list of inductees, I was like, who are these people?
Robert,
They're not famous.
I'm in radio. I don't know who these people are. I'm a guy who studies this stuff. I mean, I've watched the evolution of this. I mean, come on.
That ruins your whole argument.
Oh. You should smell what that is. It smells like eggs. You'd throw up if you could, Robin. If you were in my space right now, you'd vomit. Like an egg. And after I give such a beautiful, passionate speech, I ruin it by doing that. So, John, my point of view is that it isn't as simple as book, you're trying to do,
Rush.
You book Rush, and that's 70% of your audience is gone because they go, I don't give a fuck about Rush. That's the problem. You follow what I'm saying?
I do.
It's deeper than my musical taste. I'm trying to... I don't even know what I'm trying to do. Tell you the truth. I'm exhausted from it all.
I understand the point you're making.
I'm exhausted from last night. I'm exhausted from this morning. I'm exhausted in general.
You didn't even really go out last night.
I did. It was a lot. It was just, I got a wife. She's trying.
You were out for 45 minutes.
I was out for 45 minutes, and she's like shell-shocked from me. I drained the life out of everyone.
Oh, my God.
It's enough. It's enough of me, Robin. All right, let's get back to this game, whatever this is.
Right.
I did all the hard part of going out, and then I ended up with nothing.
Yeah, the part you went for you didn't get.
Right. All right, let's get back to the what annoys me most about Howard game.
What annoys me about Howard is that he thinks everybody's going to be working at McDonald's or homeless after he retires. And fact is, everybody around here is talented, and I think everybody will be fine.
Richard. Yeah, Richard.
I can hear Richard even through a harmony.
Yeah. Hey. Richard.
Kansas cuts through.
Richard, what do you think? I hired you because I didn't think you were talented? I just know what radio is and how difficult it is to get a job.
But Richard lived in a
storage bin.
Storage bin.
Yeah, that was his career. He was in a storage bin.
If you fired him tomorrow, he'd still be better off than the bin.
Right. But if I fired him tomorrow, I believe he would end up back in the bin. I do.
You don't think he could take his talents elsewhere?
Where's he going to go?
He took his talents and they got him to a storage bin.
Yeah. Without me, he went nowhere. Ask Jackie Martling where his talents have led him. What is Jackie doing now, honestly? Okay, here's an example of a guy who's no longer with the show. What happened?
I don't know what he does. He does comedy gigs from time to time.
From time
He
to
looks
time,
for that
right.
jetty.
Yeah. And he came to me, and I gave him a job. Jackie's joke cunt.
And, you know, he'd like that to be a 5-day-a-week job.
Right.
He'd even come back and do this. He's offered.
Grillo.
Well,
what do you? I mean, I don't
Grillo's
know.
going to be the next entrepreneur.
KC. I don't know. What is he doing now? I think he escorts the strippers to private rooms.
He's full-time crazy.
I mean, what evidence do you have that people leave here and do better?
Has anybody left here and done well?
The only one you can think of is Stuttering John, but he got a job while he was here. And Jay Leno went, but it wasn't paying attention. One of his head writers had this crazy idea to put just Stuttering John on, and Jay got rid of him in under a year. I mean, he kept him on as a writer because he wants to give him a salary because he's embarrassed in front of me to cut John loose, I think.
No, I've spoken to people there that have worked there, and they all agree that...
The only guys who've done well who have left and gotten job offers, you know, while they're here. But as far as people leaving the show, most of them have not done well.
The only guy I can think of that has worked for you and then done really well would be Mark Cronin.
Yeah, but like Mark left. Do you know what I'm saying? Mark left. I'm saying if I leave tomorrow, Richard, I think, is going to be up Schitt's Creek. You know. I mean, I think he could get a job. Like maybe he'll work like in a library or something.
A library?
Why not?
Why would he
Clean?
do that?
What could he do in a library?
The floors get filthy. The people are in there all day. Medicated Pete lives in the library.
He has to now. You see what happened to his house?
Yeah. Hey,
What,
Richard,
Pete's house?
where is it? Yeah, he got flooded out. Hey, it's awful. Richard, where are you going to go? I'm sorry it annoys you. Where is he?
Interesting what annoys each of these people.
Why does that annoy you? Prove me wrong, then.
It doesn't really annoy me. It's just a lot of times you make us all sound like we're retards
No,
and
you're fabulous.
worthless, but we work here, and I think everybody around here is talented.
By the way, I'm getting excellent reports on you.
About what?
About his work.
Who from?
Fred.
Oh.
Thank you, Fred.
And
no need to laugh at that, Robin.
Yeah, right. What is he? Fred's insane? All right, I take that back. Right,
fun
Fred's
just keeps
insane,
on
but he knows
continuing.
talent. No, I know you're great. You're terrific, and the stuff you do is funny as hell. That's why you're here. I thought you were funny.
Thank you.
But I don't see a future for you.
You know, what works here doesn't necessarily work in the real world.
Okay, so
yeah, right. This is the only place for you.
Maybe you're right. Where else am I going to lick somebody's balls and get paid for it?
It's a unique framework we have here.
But I generalized it. I said everybody around here is very talented. You're always saying everybody will be up
please.
Creek.
You really think that I think you're going to be a huge success when I retire? Are you crazy?
I'm not saying I
think
am.
You'll probably end up with your own show, and I see a huge future for you. You want me to say that?
No.
You feel better now?
No.
Right, get out of here.
You and Sal will be
lunatic.
crossing streams forever.
Yeah, I think you and Sal are going to go on to be the Franken and I think you'll end up a United States Senator. And Sal will write a book, okay?
You think we'll be teabagging on Good Morning America?
Yeah, I think there's a huge demand for something like that.
Okay.
That's right.
And I wasn't annoyed. They just said find something, so I was thinking of something.
And before Richard worked here, he was living, as Robin said, in a storage facility, and he hadn't gotten laid in 10 years. He didn't even have a shower.
He was making love to
with
his
it.
computer. He was having dates with his computer.
Yeah,
I mean...
I was making love to the inside of a napkin roll.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a paper
Literally.
towel roll.
Right,
yeah.
literally. So,
and I'm thankful for what I have here. I appreciate it. Thank you, Howard.
Yeah. No, I love you.
I love
I'm not
you
saying
too.
you're not talented.
I know. Just sometimes it
You just
seems
should
like
work extra hard to keep me working. That's what I've told the staff. I said, listen, work extra hard, and I'll tell you why. Keep me working, because you don't want to find out what life is like without me.
I know. I hope you stay here forever. I love it.
Make it easy for me. So far, it's not so easy. Now get out of here and go.
We're working
go write
hard.
Work harder. Whip him, Fred.
That's next. Now he's good.
He is good. I know it.
And you have to say that you're getting good reports on Richard and Sal, or one of them will kill themselves.
No, just Richard.
Sal, not so much, but Richard, he's great.
Yeah, no, Richard and Sal. No, that's it. When you get a report, it's Richard and Sal. Trust me.
Right.
You know that that the whole staff sends me a weekly report on what they do, and they're the only ones I get that says Richard and Sal.
Right.
Like I don't get individual reports.
No, they're one person. They're like a married couple.
I wonder who writes it up.
I know. That's a funny thing to ask about. Like, who writes the report?
That's like Franken and Davis, I'm telling you.
Maybe they alternate weeks.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Sal, I mean, we got a lot of email about Sal's teeth. And, it is so funny to me that the guy who made fun of Gary's teeth all these years now has worse teeth than Gary.
He says that, Howard, these are two things. You're wrong and my teeth are bad.
All I know is when I speak to him, all I see is teeth. Whatever he did to his teeth are ridiculous. He made them way too white. That's it.
I'm telling you, when you put up that side by side, it's like there's a spotlight on his teeth.
Yeah, I'm not making it up. Believe me, I don't want to talk to a guy and be distracted by his teeth. I need him to blend into the background.
He says you're exaggerating it, that they're perfect.
Well, didn't you say that too?
I might have.
Yeah, I know you did. All right, let's get back to what. Look at him.
Oh my God!
Look at that side-by-side comparison. Available on howardstern.com, by the way. Let's get back to what annoys me most about Howard, Game.
I'll tell you what annoys me about Howard. If he doesn't know someone, watch their show, or listen to their music, then he doesn't give a fuck.
Steve
fuck
Brandano.
Your Emmys, fuck
No,
your
that's
Grammys.
Will.
Oh, wait.
No, Steve Brandano.
You think?
It is Steve Brandano.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, I recognize his
Oh,
weird
you recognized him.
cadence.
Did you slow down some gay song on Coffee House? Oh, then we'll have you in. He gets interested in the piano player from Maroon 5 when he's in the studio, but he doesn't think there's enough to talk about with some of the biggest people in the world.
Dude, go do a radio show. If I'm wrong, prove me wrong. Someone prove me wrong. They've yet to do it. Leave here and start your show with all your White Stripes interviews. These guys don't get it. They've never actually worked on radio, have they? Aside from here, which is hardly radio. I mean, they got shows at this Sirius. They book people to do shows who've never done radio in their lives, and there's a good reason why they don't. They're horrible at it.
But they're also interviewing all these people Steve's talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody's flocking to their shows.
But nobody cares around here. Nobody sits here and gets worried about ratings. It's a joke.
Well, you don't need ratings here.
Let me tell you, I still think of when I'm on the air here, I still feel like I'm on terrestrial radio. And before I book a guest on terrestrial radio, I was like, shit, is this person going to fly with my audience? I mean, I can't have a disaster. The people who work here don't have that pressure. Steve Brandano thinks it's a party. I could have put Riley Martin on terrestrial radio. You know why? The radio station would close. Here you can do it. It's a niche kind of thing.
I think that in that particular instance he was referring to, and he's a really nice guy. What was that guy that we had on that just probably within the last year? He's like a guitar player.
Yeah.
And he sings, sort of light songs. You heard him on
Coffee House.
Coffee House, and I can't. He's pretty well known.
Yeah.
But I can't remember his name.
Matt Nathanson.
Matt Nathanson.
Right.
So we'd say like, wow, why would you put on Matt Nathanson and not steal?
I enjoyed the song, and I had something, an angle that I could present to the audience. That's why. Steve's never done a radio show. Steve's never gone out to a small station, gotten a job in radio. He doesn't know what it takes. He should be learning from me, never fighting with me.
He's irritated.
Can you imagine he's irritated? He doesn't. When I listen to a kid like that who hasn't done a thing, I laugh. I laugh because when you talk about radio halls of fame, the reason I'm not all choked up about it is radio's been a nightmare for me. It's filled with insecurity. It's filled with going from market to market and getting every fucking asshole's opinion on radio.
And then not just indulging yourself.
And them yelling at you, and general managers, sales managers, everyone just clomping you over the head. But you learn. If you want to have a discussion with me about radio, you've got to have gone through that process. There's no way you can have a discussion with me about what works on the radio unless you've done it.
And the other thing is that once you have an interest in somebody, you can make them interesting to others.
Right. But Steve wouldn't know that. Steve thinks I'm going to get on with who does he think? Steve, who's so fucking interesting that I'm missing out on? You lunatic.
Oh.
You haven't done anything. You have no right to comment.
Well,
you haven't earned it.
I was asked to comment.
Good.
I don't really like. I feel like it's insulting to say their names.
Who do you want me to interview?
Insulting to say whose names?
We turned down the Black Keys.
Right.
who are fans of yours.
Yes, because
who are like one of the biggest bands in the world.
I don't know much about the Black Keys. I've discussed it with Gary many times. We listened to your suggestion. I've got to be generally jazzed about something.
Understood.
Then I say to you guys, give me some research back on the Black Keys. I put it in your court. I said,
yes.
Teach me something about the Black Keys that my audience is going to care about, so that if there's someone like me who doesn't know about the Black Keys, it's going to make them interesting to my audience.
Right.
And you have failed every single fucking time. Now,
you have not come back with the...
No, of course I've come back with
to go and do some
stuff.
hard work.
That's not fair.
Yes,
that's not fair because I've done that.
You failed to interest me.
Well, yeah, because you're
have
not
failed
interested
the Black
in
Keys.
it. You're not interested in it
because
that's
your
not
research hasn't been exciting enough.
Well, there might not be enough there for you,
Steve. This is what I suggest for you.
Yeah,
you've got to do me a favor. 2013's coming up.
Yes.
Your New Year's resolution should be: I'm going to make the break from the Howard Stern show. I'm going to go out. And I'm going to get my own show, and I'm going to prove Howard
we
wrong.
do shows on your channels.
I want your first guest. Forget my channels; they're irrelevant.
Well, but I'm doing that.
It's not real radio. Did you hear what I just said about satellite radio?
Yeah.
I love Judith Regan. They gave her a show. How many people do you think? What Judith don't know anything about radio. She's a great woman. She's a brilliant book publisher. That's what she should be doing. They give every nut job they'll find somebody in the hall here and give them a show. We got a guy put on a Swedish channel. Where in fucking America do you hear a Swedish channel? Because you want to be a goddamn knight? Fuck me. There's a Swedish channel. When you got to make a real living in radio, Night Schmite. You gotta produce, baby. You ask Scott Shannon or Steve Kingston or Tim Sabian if they're going to put on a Swedish channel. Motherfucker. Give me a break. You're not dealing with the real world here. You do a show here, if it's successful or not, it doesn't matter. You're under my protection. You're pitching the equivalent of the Swedish channel.
No, that's not true at all.
Yes.
That's absolutely not true.
Yes.
Your show, AGT, uses the Black Keys like every break.
That's right.
And terrestrial radio plays them all over the place.
Then this is what you need to do.
What?
You need to get a show on terrestrial radio where there's ratings.
Terrestrial radio is dead. Who cares about terrestrial radio?
All right, well.
Or it's dying.
You need to get a show where there's a ratings evaluation, where you can be tested, put to the test all your theories.
So how about...
And then when you pass the test, you and I will have this discussion.
How about the people that you've passed on in the past?
I will put them on. Go do your research and find something relatable. Tell me something about the Black Keys I care about. Tell me something.
I can pull up the notes that we've had.
Tell me something right now. You're a fan.
Besides the fact that they're the biggest band in the country.
They're not the biggest band in the country.
They certainly are. And you're in here always going, there's no rock music these days. I got to listen to all this stuff.
Nobody cares about it anymore, Steve. It's a dying industry. People laugh at these fucking kids up on stage now instead of worshiping them.
No one laughs at the Black Keys. Bob Lefsetz doesn't laugh at the Black Keys. He doesn't.
Bob Lefsetz is a bright guy.
Yeah.
And he sees what's happened to rock stars in general.
And if you had the Black Keys on, he'd be like, Howard talked to the Black Keys.
Yes.
It was one of the greatest
It won't be wonderful.
moments.
You got to give me something to go on. I don't listen to the Black Keys.
Just have them come in and play some songs. Again, like I said in the clip, you have Maroon 5 in here, and you're like, how do you play the piano like that? Because they're very popular. I get that. And I like Matt Nathanson, too. People know the Black Keys. It's crazy. It's crazy that you think people don't know the Black Keys.
The amount of people that know the Black Keys are in your universe. I'm talking about broader research. And it's the Howard Stern show. We've got to go with what interests me.
Okay.
I'm an older man.
And that's what annoys me about you. That's what I get
I'm 58 years old.
Right.
This is your time. You should be out doing the Steve Brandano show, somewhere where you can prove all of this wrong. Get some balls behind you.
We're here.
Do it.
There's Geek Time on Friday. There's John Hines TV show tomorrow.
Geek Time's a joke.
To you.
To Ralph.
It's not a joke to Ralph. It's definitely not a joke to Ralph.
Ralph takes it seriously, but it doesn't matter. Whether Ralph gets it. If Ralph has 2 people listening to that, it doesn't matter.
It's also frustrating when there's people that I'm saying we should have in. You don't care about them, but then like 2 years later, you suddenly care about them, and then they come in here and everybody's like, "Wow, that was great. That was great. Bryan Cranston was great.
If 2 years
Seth
ago,
Rogen was great.
You know why Seth Rogen was great?
Why?
Because I cared about him. I've got to care.
That's what's frustrating because I know that they would be good.
Steve,
some of these people.
I can't watch and be into everything you're into. How old a guy are you?
That's why
How old a guy
but
are
I
you?
don't. And Gary will back me up.
How old are you?
I'm
Steve?
30.
Yeah, you're 30.
I don't come and pitch like Soul Live people that I'm into. That I only pitch people that I know would be good on the show, like the Black Keys.
Steve, you got to get your own show. You're bursting with so many good ideas. I'm telling you,
I
you're wasting
work
your
on
time
other
there.
shows here.
Steve,
I know you.
No, you need to go off and do the Steve Brandano
Because
show.
the Black Keys need an interview.
No, the Black Keys get interviewed everywhere.
Because Soul Patch and all these bands are so live. I'm telling you, you would be the biggest thing on tour. Remember how David Lee Roth tried to replace me and Adam Carolla and all these other guys and Opie and Anthony. All the Viacom blew it. They should have gotten you.
Listen, I want to be here. I like being here.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
You're frustrated.
No, I'm not frustrated.
Right.
I get to do great things on your channels. But you don't have the Black Keys on. That's what annoys me about you.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Seriously.
Thank you. No, seriously. Thank you. Thank you for that. It was the most brilliant dissertation I've ever heard.
Howard, are we going to play another clip of somebody with no repercussions?
There are no repercussions.
Oh, please. You've tormented numbers
Steve
4
can
through
be here
10
as long as he wants. But Steve really does need to go prove his theories.
But you did emasculate him a little bit, don't you think?
No, not at all. I had a discussion with him. I'm trying to teach him.
Richard, by telling Richard that outside of here he's nothing?
Stop it. You know that's true.
Oh, my goodness.
That's why nobody wanted to play this game.
This is the greatest game ever.
Howard, I told people to do it, and nobody did it but me. I was the only one who did it.
Right.
I'm living there alone. Then you said, tell everybody they got to play.
I don't have. There will be no repercussions. There are none. I like Steve. And I like that he stands up for what he believes in. What he believes is insane, but he doesn't understand the basics.
Well, what were in his notes? I mean, why didn't he set a fire under
I could talk about this a little bit. Howard, I would say that there's probably no guest that Howard and I have discussed more than the Black Keys.
Really?
Probably. In fact, I've gone as far as to say
guys
Howard.
have told me the Black Keys are big fans of the show. I'm not familiar. It doesn't mean they're not good, and it doesn't mean they're not relevant. You know what it is? I don't know much about them. So I said to the guys, hey, I don't know much about the Black Keys. I said, what are their hit songs? So they played them for me. I never heard one. Now, I'm not saying I never heard of them. Doesn't mean that they're not big somewhere. They probably are. But I got to go with what turns me on. There's got to be a connection there. So I say to the guys, I don't know much about the Black Keys. Give me some info on them. Give me a couple of stats on these boys. Like I've interviewed the guy who was married to one of those Simpson girls.
The guy's
Nick Lachey?
No. The other guy.
Good Charlotte.
Oh, yeah.
Pete Wentz. Pete Wentz.
Right.
Now, the reason I interviewed him is I don't know any Pete Wentz music, but he appeals to a younger crowd. He's got gossip. You know, he's in Us Magazine every week when he was married to Simpson, whatever her name was. Not Jessica, the other Simpson. Ashley Simpson, yeah. the one who got the nose job. And so there's a bit of... It's a broader discussion than just music. So that's why he's on. It's not because I'm a Pete Wentz fan. I don't know fucking shit about Pete Wentz. But it looked like the dude was living an interesting life, banging this chick and getting himself a name. It's not about the music. Oh, Malone. How do you explain it to these young guys?
But you still haven't told me what was in the notes.
There was nothing that I read that I said to the guys, this is all nice, but it's nothing that I feel...
You couldn't grab onto anything.
That my audience will relate to because I won't be excited about it.
I will tell you that we were really close to getting Howard to say yesterday. Then Will and I dialed it back because we realized that their music is... we like the music and we think people will know it, but we didn't think they were going to be great interviews. Right. And that was going to be...
Yeah,
we don't want to deal with that.
That's all. I got nothing against those guys. I'm thrilled they're fans, and I know they're successful.
They love you.
But a lot of times I don't book someone because I don't think I can make anything out of it.
Well, the one I always talk about was at the height of what was that movie, Dumb and Dumber?
Right.
We kept getting pitched Jeff Daniels. The movie was #1 for like 8 weeks in a row. We kept getting pitched Jeff Daniels, and we kept saying no, and they kept saying why. And I remember you and Robin said, I don't really care.
Yeah, we shouldn't care. And it's not that
like
Jeff Daniels,
but
right.
Yeah.
We like it just because we don't book him doesn't mean we don't like him.
It's not that I dislike Jeff Daniels. It's just you get a vibe that the audience isn't going to be into it. And by the way, that's probably a ridiculous vibe. I don't know what the audience is going to be into. I'm not into it.
And you can't do it if you can't feel it.
Right. That's my thoughts on this. And I'm not upset with Steve for being frustrated by that. I actually understand it. Of course, that would be frustrating to me, too. Because in Steve's mind, he's like, oh, my God, this is fantastic, because he's interested in it.
Yeah, but Steve doesn't understand what a rotten interview does to you.
Right. Oh, I have to live with it for weeks.
Oh, I understand it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I go into a major funk, and I don't want to go into a funk. And he hasn't experienced that. And he hasn't experienced getting a ratings book back that dips. It's probably the most debilitating thing on the planet. You know? The guys I can relate to are the guys who have experienced that, who have just lived with that dread their entire lives of a ratings book, something they have no control over. I mean, that's to me and that's why when the Radio Hall of Fame comes calling, I'm like, radio hasn't been exactly the most. Yeah, I've made a great living at it, but it's been filled with just stomach aches and sickness and just fucking complete despair and dread. I mean. And you don't get any loving advice from the people you work for. They want ratings. You don't have them, you're out. And sometimes even if you do have them, you're out because you're too out of your mind.
You take their advice, you're out. You don't take their advice, you're out.
It's just maddening. And so when a guy named Bruce Dumont decides that I don't get into the Radio Hall of Fame for 20-something years, a guy who, as far as I know, has he ever been in radio?
Yes.
What did he do?
Oh God, I have to go back and.
I don't know this
like
gentleman.
all things considered, like PBS.
Oh, NPR.
NPR, rather.
Yeah, good luck. And NPR is nothing. It's horse shit. To me.
Beyond the Beltway was the show.
Yeah, good.
Whatever that is.
That's a show that doesn't get ratings.
We went online, and that's the only picture. We think that's pretty much the Radio Hall of Fame.
Yeah, well, there you
which
go.
Is
it's
a room
cafeteria.
With folding chairs and plaques.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Yeah, and so, you know, listen, anybody wants to give me an award, thank you. I'll always take it and accept it, but I'm not going to Chicago to support this guy. I don't know him. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, the Beyond the Beltway show was also on PBS for a while as a TV show.
There you go. Good for him. Well, good.
And from 1987 to 2006, the host of Illinois Lawmakers.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but okay, well, at least he's in radio. Okay, I stand corrected. Right. He has been in radio.
Jason was saying to me, like, he said, Gary, give me some names that you think are slam dunks that should be in the Radio Hall of Fame. So I said, well, probably like a cousin.
Howard Stern, that's it.
Right, but
that's it. Maybe Rush Limbaugh. Or I don't know. I guess he could make an argument for Imus. At least he's been on the radio. And there are a lot of local guys who I don't know.
Well, do you think like a Scott Muni should be in?
Yeah,
he's
sure.
not.
Yeah, exactly. He should be.
I thought the same thing.
The guy was an innovator. I mean, he
did it for a long time.
Yeah, he converted a station to free form and stuff. I mean, when I say innovator, I mean he heard it in San Francisco and decided to bring it to New York. But yeah, I guess the guy should be in there. I mean, who knows who should be in the Radio Hall of Fame? Radio is littered with a lot of people who shouldn't be anywhere. They shouldn't even be at a party. But there's some tremendous people in radio. But they're not getting recognized. And it was ludicrous to me. The guy tried to punish me for years. He used me, in essence, by not putting me in. You know? And every year it became Howard Stern got rejected. And who wants that? And now all of a sudden he decided to put me in. And then he knew I wasn't coming. And he put in, we don't know if he'll be here or not. That was to attract more people who think I might show up. You know, I know what the game is. Well, anyway, my ear itches.
What else annoys people?
I don't know, but we do have to take a break. I don't know if this is going well because it makes it seem like I don't like my staff. I do. I enjoy Scott DePace. I enjoy working with Richard and Sal. I like Steve Brandano. And this is causing a lot of bad vibes.
You know what it is?
I'm enjoying it.
You see, here's the thing you don't understand. Here's if I can make one minor complaint.
Sure.
Like, I know you're doing the radio show, but these guys feel bad about it for days afterwards. I don't think they see it as...
Is that right?
Yeah, it stays with them.
Well, tell me get over it. Tell him, welcome to radio.
Like Stephen
now we're doing something interesting.
Yeah,
Stephen Richard
stays with him. Maybe that's a help.
What do they want from me?
Just to know that you think they're doing a good job.
Yeah, you're doing a good job. It's great. If I knew what you were doing, I would tell you even more.
You haven't gotten any good reports on Steve Brandano from Fred?
Gary's.
I don't work with Steve.
Gary works with him, and I don't know why Steve thinks I would know what he's up to.
I know what he's up to.
That's all that counts. Listen, you're the executive producer of this show. You decided to hire Steve Brandano.
And I'm very happy with his
You
performance.
came to me and you said, Howard, Steve Brandano is a terrific guy. We shouldn't lose him. And I said, if Gary thinks he's good, then he's good. Steve, I'm sorry. I don't know what the fuck you're doing. To me, you look like you're sitting there on your fucking ass.
That bothers him.
Well, then what am I going to do about it? What should I do?
This is reminding me of a drunk Will Murray. Everybody has the same complaint. Howard doesn't know what the fuck I do.
Right. Should I follow him around and learn what he does?
No, but if you want to ask me one day, I'll sit down.
What does he do? I know what he does. He does research, right?
Well, he answers the phones during the show. He helps Will with research. But
I hear he's terrific at it.
But a lot of what he does is he really is like our utility player. He helps with almost every other show on the channel.
Oh, good. Well, then I appreciate what he does. I appreciate every guy who works here. You know, I thought he was a publicist for the Black Keys. I didn't know that he worked for me. I got an idea. The Black Keys, the Black Keys. Come up with a new idea. No, the Black Keys.
All right, the White Keys.
All right, no, I love the kid. He's good. I like everyone who works here. Now, leave me alone. Should we finish this game?
Yes, I think
we'll
so.
Discuss
we
that.
can't come back to it. The
We got 6 more.
Too
Six
deep.
more. My God.
We could do it. We could do it tomorrow. We could do it next week.
Oh my God. All right, well, let me take a break. We'll be back right after these words.
Mr. Hines, sir.
Oh, yes.
Oh, sorry to sneak up on you like that.
It's all right.
I know
about the reaction you were expecting.
I wasn't sure how it was going to go. I know how he feels about music acts that come on the show, and I've said all along that I'd love to have Rush or Steely Dan or bands that I really love on here. Not because I love their music, that's part of it, but also Rush, for example, they give a good interview. They're entertaining. Steely Dan, I've never seen interviews, so I can't say that. But that's the point I was trying to make, and sometimes Howard makes choices with his musical taste that he likes, but I don't really like. So if I had to pick one thing that annoyed me about Howard, it would be that. So I went in there, and after listening to everyone else come out of there, I think I pretty much emerged unscathed. So I'm happy for that. I basically needed to make sure that I came out of there making my point, but not getting into it too much. Because anytime you go in there and fight with Howard, you're going to lose. And I didn't want to lose. I don't like losing.
As you once told me, the house always wins.
The house always wins, Greg Carmel.
Steve-O,
yeah,
you've been here for a while. Why take the bait like that? I mean, the house always wins. John Hine has been quoted as saying that. And that's
Listen,
very
I
true.
stand by everything that I said. I mean, that's... And I'm happy that you finally asked, or whatever, that there was a thing that allowed me to say this. It's crazy that we don't have the Black Keys on here.
I agree with you.
It's crazy.
I think they're, as far as mainstream acts go, I think
well,
they're
then
the
go
best
leave,
band in
Greg.
America.
Then why don't you go leave and go do your own thing, okay?
Because I know that this guy is travel tested and he's a warrior.
I'm not going anywhere.
Right,
I'm not going anywhere.
Right, but why fight the king? The guy obviously knows what works and what doesn't. I agree with you. I think Maroon 5 sucks.
I didn't say Maroon 5 sucks.
I think they do. I think they're talented, but I think their music sucks. I think Train sucks.
Okay.
But
I didn't say any of those bands suck.
At the same time, I'm not taking the bait and going in and telling them who should be on.
Well, we were asked to take the bait, so I participated. And instead of saying I'm jealous of your hair or something lame like that,
that was a very ballsy
I said what it was, and I stick by it.
I mean, she's crazy.
Scott, seriously, his hair. Why couldn't you have got all the years
I'm
and all
jealous
the
of his hair. He's got it. And it's not gray.
Yeah, but
and whatever I have is gray. So
right, but this is the opportunity to really let Howard have it. And after all the years,
why
of
would I
abuse,
let him have it? I've been here for 28 years. Why would I fucking let him have it? What? I mean, really?
Well, because you've been ripped to pieces on many occasions. Why not use this as an opportunity to go back at him and tell him what annoyed